Hello and welcome to the Flicksters. That's right, this is the place where you can get all your movie reviews and updates that you could ever want in your life. So follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and YouTube. And don't forget to download our podcast on Google Play, Spotify, iTunes and Castbox. So we will see you there.
Deval, don't worry, take your time. Drink a drink.
I'm so thirsty.
Well, listen, I mean, with the weather that we're having right now,
Yep.
I mean, come on. I think you already mentioned this. The last time we had this was the summer of 76, I think, or something like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for downloading another episode of The Flicksters. We are coming direct to you from the home studio in London. And oh my God, I mean, Deval, the weather that we've been having, it's been great, right?
Blazing. I really can't complain because this has been the summer of all summers.
I know. Seriously. I mean, God, they'll be writing about this summer for years to come.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So, Deval, I mean, what have we got on this week's show?
This week is jam-packed. I mean, I'm really excited about this week because there are a lot of like hot news, hot topics, updates that really interest me. So it's going to be fun.
This paper is sizzling, right? Seriously, I see smoke coming out of this paper right now because there's so much hot shit going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've got movie reviews, we've got film news, we've got anniversary corner, we've got hidden gems, we've got streaming services, we've got what's new out on trailers. So carry on listening. We hope you enjoy the show and thank you so much for supporting us. So, Deval, I mean, oh God, there's been so much going on this past week.
So much.
So, I mean, let's just start. Well, let's not forget the introduction. Let's just go into it like right away because there's so much stuff that I want to just say, and I can't believe it. James Gunn. I mean, this is lighting up the internet.
I thought this was bullshit. I thought it was lies. I was like, nah, this can't be true.
And you know what? We got to give a big shout out to Marcel. Who is one of our friends, and he just kind of like, hey, have you heard this news? And when I read this, I was shocked.
Yeah. I mean, he is the Guardians. He made the Guardians. He changed comic book movies.
Yeah.
You know, people started to edit and remember when Guardians 1 came out, 2014.
Yeah.
As a result, Deadpool was more accepted as being like more funny and stuff like that. They had to reshoot Suicide Squad because they saw how good Guardians was. And they had to just do reshoots and just try and make it, you know, better. And
so let's just go back a bit. So some guy in America, some right-wing guy, dug up James Gunn's tweets from like 10 years ago.
I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. Now, some of the stuff, I read some of the tweets, right? And okay, fine. Like I've said shit, like, you know, and imagine like, you know, if you went back and said to me, oh, Amma, do you remember when you said that like 10 years ago? Like, you know, it's just like so weird that, you know, some prick, right, is bringing up all this stuff that was said 10 years ago. And clearly, like, you know, you got to give people a second chance and, you know, James Gunn has been changed. But look, what I want to say was I want to mention one of the messages that...
Oh, you've got it.
I've got one of the messages. So after this news story broke, James Gunn, he went onto Twitter and he said, look, many people who have followed my career know when I started, I viewed myself as a provocateur, making movies and telling jokes that were outrageous and taboo. As I've discussed publicly many times, as I've developed as a person, so has my work and my humor. It's not to say I'm a better person, but I am very, very different than I was a few years ago. And James Gunn, I mean, I'm not going to read it all. That's out there on Twitter. He's like, he tweeted like about 5 different messages.
Okay.
And that was like, you know, message 1 and 2 or whatever. So clearly he repents, like, you know, exactly.
Yeah.
He feels shit about the whole thing, right? But clearly what you said 10 years ago, should that have an effect on your career? I mean, that is up for debate, but here's the one thing. Someone within Marvel or someone working within the Marvel Cinematic Universe said, if you want to go back to people saying bad shit, what about Walt Disney?
Yeah. Back in the day.
Back in the day, Walt Disney, known for his anti-Semitic reviews and comments. So, you know, what do you want to do then?
Yeah.
So It's
I
just
think that
like,
person, whoever they are, I think they probably work at DC, and they're trying to just scupper Marvel's momentum. Marvel should have stood by him. I don't think Marvel should have fired him.
where's Kevin Feige
They
on
should
this?
have, yeah. I mean, like even the Dark Knight says it. It's not. It's not. It's not what I do that defines me. It's who I am.
Exactly.
You know, it's who he is. It's not the tweets or whatever from 10 years ago.
It's like what he's doing now, like
Exactly.
And my man, our man, Dave Bautista.
Yeah, he backed him.
He stood by him, and Dave Bautista turned around and said, "Look, he's one of the most gentlest, one of the most kindest guys that he's ever known.
Yeah,
and this is just shitty. What's going on? He doesn't agree with it, and I think he needs more people to come out and support him.
Yeah.
So that is like huge, and especially he was due to appear at Comic-Con.
Oh, and he didn't because of that.
This is it. That
A couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago, I saw a tweet of the Guardians of the Galaxy 3, the script, and it was like it was done, and it had his name on it, like written by James Gunn. It was just like he tweeted to say it was done. So I know the draft has been completed, and hopefully we're going to start shooting in January, I believe. So who's gonna do it now?
All right, okay. Here's a question. Let me throw one out to you, and I'll throw one out to the audience, our listeners. Who do you think is capable enough to direct this? Now, I'm going to mention one person, and you might say, yeah, that's a good shout. Other people might know. A lot of people are saying Tiki.
Yeah. I can see where you're going with that. I can see where you're going, and
because Thor Ragnarok had the kind of similar vibe to that.
Yeah, I can see where you're going, but then it might be too much over the top, as in. But he would good. He will be good. I wouldn't if I found out he was going to do it, I wouldn't be
pissed off.
Yeah, kind of thing. I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's cool. But at the same time, I'd be pissed off for James Gunn because
that's his baby.
Exactly. This was the last one, and he's still been involved in a lot of other of the Marvel cinematic movies.
I didn't know this, but like the writers of Avengers: Infinity War, they consulted James Gunn about this, and they were like, "Well, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?" And like he's involved in it.
Yeah.
So what I'm really surprised about is Kevin Feige. He hasn't spoken up. Or he has, but I haven't seen anything on it.
Yeah.
So that was the big news these last couple of days, ladies and gents. I think this broke like a couple of days ago. So, and obviously with Comic-Con going on, it was like really major. So that's a bit of a downer for us fans, and obviously for James Gunn, it's like pretty shitty. But you've written something on the show notes about Iron Fist. Tell us what this is.
Iron Fist, yeah. So Iron Fist season 2 is dropping 7th of September. I thought it was later, but September, that's only a couple of months away. So I'm happy about that. And from what I understand, Typhoid Mary, I don't even know who that is. Isn't typhoid like some sort of tropical disease
exactly.
or something?
I'm running away from it, man. You want to stay away from typhoid.
So what would you choose? Would you choose either Hail Mary or Typhoid Mary? Which Mary would you... if you had to choose one?
Apparently, like there's 2 or 3 versions of her, and there's Typhoid Mary. There's another Mary of her somewhere out there, and this is the one who's a bit lethal and a bit crazy. But yeah, look at these names that they come up with. But I mean, hey, obviously we're not going to pass judgment on that because she might be some badass like villain.
She probably will be, I reckon.
She will be, and just for our listeners out there, the last time we saw Iron Fist was in Luke Cage season 2.
Yeah. So I mean, he and for the guys that have seen it, you'll know what we're talking about. The guys that haven't seen Luke Cage season 2, go watch it. We're not going to spoil what happens in it, but he does make an appearance, and it's a good appearance. And I think the camaraderie and the heroes for hire type relationship does blossom. But I am interested in seeing how they improve season 2 of Iron Fist, because the first season, they've admitted that they rushed into it. The main actor who plays Iron Fist, he came literally off the set of Game of Thrones. He had no time to rehearse, no time to fight. He's meant to be a really good fighter, but the fight scenes, the fights weren't really. They were kind of weak.
Yeah,
and the show was slated for that. So this time they've got a new showrunner. They got more time to develop the fighting, develop the story, and get their teeth really stuck into this. And I'm confident that this will be. I mean, how can it not be better than season 1?
Exactly.
Come on, I think it will be, and I'm looking forward to it.
And we've kind of like now been introduced to Danny Rand from obviously the first season of Luke Cage of Iron Fist. Then he turned up in Defenders.
Yeah.
He's been now in Luke Cage. So we're used to him now.
Yeah.
Come on, give us what we really want. So
and also, I think they're going to have some other Defenders or Marvel people from the Netflix world integrate into this show, because from what we've seen so far, they're sort of being quite fluid with the characters, so they won't drop Jessica Jones, Daredevil and Luke Cage with him, but maybe one or two might make an appearance, which I reckon it'd be Luke Cage. I reckon he'll help him out.
Exactly.
He's got to come back and help him out.
He's got to come back. So it's going to be kind of like, look, you came to Harlem, let me come over to your neck of the woods and we'll kick shit up.
Exactly. So
yeah, that's really interesting. And I kind of alluded to San Diego Comic-Con, but I mean, that is like lighting up the whole internet. Like, come on, tell us some of the stuff
the past 4 days has been popping off like crazy.
So what have you heard?
I've heard, oh my gosh, I've heard it through the grave.
And let's just remind everyone, obviously we couldn't go.
Yeah.
We did have tickets.
We have our sources that, feed us information.
Exactly.
That other people don't get. So this is all, this is live and direct. You get
exactly.
So Bumblebee, they had a panel, John Cena, the director, the actress that's playing the young girl in Bumblebee, the film. They all had a little Q&A. They showed a new trailer.
Yeah.
The trailer that they did show, they actually haven't revealed yet. Like, they haven't released it in wide release. But the description is that during the trailer, you get to see more of Cybertron.
Oh.
There's some sort of reveal, or basically you find out that Optimus Prime is involved in it somehow. I'm not sure if it's going to have a big part or small part, whether it's a flashback or what, but Optimus Prime is going to somehow be involved in it.
Okay.
And also more Decepticons.
Oh, right. So from what I've gathered, I mean, you might know more, but this is kind of like an origin story, right?
Yeah, so this is set in the 80s, I believe.
Right,
so
okay.
I'm not sure how... It's a bit funny with the Transformers sort of world, because, I mean... We first got Transformers in 2007. Michael Bay, Shia LaBeouf, and
wow, was that when it was?
2007? Yeah, so quite a while ago. And so that was then. And Bumblebee was Bumblebee, and now this is going into the 80s. So I'm not sure how it's going to make sense. Him being there in the 80s, and then he came to Earth 2007, and he was new to Earth. I don't know. Maybe his mind got wiped, like in Star Wars with the R2-D2, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe that happens. I don't know, but I mean, Transform. I just want to see. I hope that they've got Soundwave. I love Soundwave. He's one of my favorite Transformers.
You mentioned this before.
Yeah, because it's like, Master, I have the Energon cubes. I have seen the Autobots on the river. He's just. I love the way he just hides. And he shoots out a little eagle out of his chest, or a panther jumps out of him and goes to record a conversation and go back. And then Starscream, he's looking like the original Starscream.
And he's going to be a lot in this.
So we saw him in the first trailer. Yeah. But the way he's painted, the way he looks, is just like the original cartoon. Yeah. He's got like his silver or he's grey with the red and blue like art, or, paint or whatever, and it looks old school.
Yeah.
Which I like. I love Starscream. He's one of them like villains that you never actually get to kill, because he's clever enough that when he's losing, he just runs away.
He just gets out.
And actually says, "Ew, fights and runs away, lives to fight another day." He actually say that as he's running away, and he says it. Starscream's gangster, and he always comes back. Doesn't follow orders. He always Megatron will tell him, "Starscream, I want you to do this," and Starscream just breaks rank and does what he wants.
I love the voices, man.
He's a rebel.
I love this voice. Listen, we could do a podcast just on voices, man. Just like our own version of Transformers. But I mean, you're absolutely right. Like they at San Diego Comic-Con, they've been like, the news that's coming out of there. So this stuff on which I'm really interested about, Doctor Who. They posted a teaser trailer on the new Doctor Who. British actress Jodie Whittaker, and it's the first time in the history of Doctor Who that it's a female.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, so this is going to be brilliant. Like, I'm a big fan of Doctor Who, and you mean, I don't know if you are.
I was just going to say, I've never really been into it,
mate.
I've seen one episode, the one with the angels, and like when you turn your back, they get closer to you. That episode was good.
That was
I've
brilliant.
never seen any other episode.
Oh, what was that? This famous actress. That was a debut, I think.
Is it?
She was in Shame.
I don't know, but it was a good episode.
Carrie Mulligan.
Oh, was she in it? Oh, okay.
That was her.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, yeah, she's good.
So yeah, she's really good. No, Deval, look, I love my sci-fi, and you know what? I was like, man, England, we don't do bloody good sci-fi.
Yeah,
like we're shit. But seriously, no, it's good, man.
It's been going
it's
since the 60s or something, so
it's one of the longest running shows, and like, so I'm really happy that they mentioned that. What else did they show at San Diego Comic-Con?
Walking Dead had a massive panel. They usually do, because obviously Walking Dead is massive. It's a comic. It's from the comics, if people don't know.
Yeah.
So we mentioned this a few weeks ago, that Andrew Lincoln announced that he's going to be leaving. This is going to be season 9, I believe. And he actually confirmed it and said, he's going to be leaving the show. He didn't go into any detail as to why or what happened, but he said, he will be in the season. I'm not sure. Pardon me. I'm not sure if he's going to be in every single episode, but he's going to obviously be in it. I'm not sure how he's going to go out, if he's going to die or if he's going to leave, or we don't know how he's going to leave, but this is his last.
Exactly. I mean, we alluded to this like, a couple of episodes ago, and so he's definitely confirmed it. Andrew Lincoln is not going to be in Walking Dead after season 9.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Game over.
Exactly. So I guess the consensus is that maybe Norman Reedus, who plays Daryl, he may be one of the leaders that takes over from there.
Yeah.
We got what's her name? The sort of youngish one that's pregnant with Glenn's baby.
Yeah. Carol.
No, Carol's the gangster one.
Oh, sorry.
But
Claire.
Claire, is it something like that?
Claire or Carol.
Her name, but her name will come to us. But she's another one of the leaders. And from the end of season 8, she was looking to sort of take over, as because they were sort of rebelling against Andrew Lincoln's character, because they didn't really agree with how the direction. Yeah, with what they were doing with what's his name? Lucille's guy. Negan. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's a bit of a rift between the camps. So I think going forward, there's going to be new leadership, I think, which is, I guess, a good thing. Yeah. I think there's beef. I think the reason why he's leaving is that there's some sort of beef. So, I mean, for him to leave so abruptly.
And like, I mean, okay, look, so here's the thing. I read that season 8, the viewership, the figures were bad.
It was bad.
It was just like, it was the weakest, it was the lowest, and people were like really, really pissed off.
Yeah.
So what I think, there could be this thing where Andrew Lincoln is thinking, look, come on, like, where is the show going? I think now, and he possibly could be thinking, this is the beginning of the end. So I want to get out whilst I can.
Yeah, possibly.
Or like you said, he had a ruck with someone on
the
set,
show,
one of the showrunners. Who
could
knows?
Be that. Maybe he wants more money. He ain't getting more money. Who knows? But either way, he's out of the door. Yep. And also, some more news from Comic Con. George R.R. Martin. Does that name ring a bell?
Okay, go for it.
Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Tell us about this one.
The man behind Game of Thrones. He doesn't just write Game of Thrones. He's a well-versed writer. He's been writing for years. Actually, a good fact, actually, the first ever Comic-Con, when they first had Comic-Con years, I think, was it in the 70s or 60s? I think 1971 or something like that. The first Comic-Con in San Diego. It was created by, comic people and people within the industry. It wasn't massive at all. It was quite intimate.
Like a niche, yeah.
And they had like a register of people that attended. His name was on the register of the first ever Comic-Con.
Oh, wow.
He was there. And, so he goes, this guy's been around for yonks.
Yeah.
So, and he deserves to be there.
Yeah, of course.
So George R.R. Martin's got a new show. It's coming out, a sci-fi show called Night Flyers.
Oh, wow.
And they showed a trailer in Comic-Con. And the show is quite... there's not much that we know about the show. There's something's happened. Civilization is threatened by something. There's a bit of a description of the trailer. There's like a gloomy ship. I think it's a spaceship of some sort, or maybe it's a vessel. It's not really too clear. But there seems to be some sort of captain type figure, a woman, and she is trying to warn people that there's a threat coming, and this threat gets closer to her, And she's meant to be the star of the show. Like she looks like the sort of person that's the star of the show. She's the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
She's there to save her people. She needs to warn people, okay, this is going to happen. But there's some sort of threat within, her vicinity. And as it gets closer to her, she actually kills herself. Yeah.
What the
She
fuck?
kills herself to stop this threat getting to her. And I think maybe getting information out of her or something. But it's such a crazy opening that you just wouldn't suspect it. It's almost like if you saw this scene, I can't remember the name of the person, but I don't think they're a massive star, but they look like they're going to be the main person. But imagine seeing someone like, I don't know, Tom Cruise or whatever in a scene like this, and he literally kills himself. You're
in
thinking,
the first 10, 15 minutes.
Exactly. You're thinking, what is going on? Like, what's going to happen next? And that just throws people off.
Yeah.
And so this looks like, that shocked the audience in Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And it looks like this is going to be one of those shows that will carry momentum, will be a bit different. People love their sci-fi. I love my sci-fi. And George R.R. Martin is a sure thing. If he puts his name on it,
it's going to happen. I mean,
exactly.
And he's got like so much. He's knowledgeable in all this sort of stuff, and he's a fan of the genre.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's influenced by all of the great sci-fi stuff that we've seen like for the last like 50, 60 years. So
exactly.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be great, and I can't wait to see that one.
So that should be airing, I believe, towards the end of the year.
Wow.
If not, it may sort of dip into beginning of next year.
Yeah.
With a lot of the big shows now, they look at introducing shows that it doesn't clash with maybe other big shows.
Sure.
They want to get the viewership as much as possible. So I'm surprised more shows didn't really come out this year because Game of Thrones hasn't been around.
Yep.
So I'm surprised a few more, like I guess Westworld did take that slot.
Yeah.
But so shows need to really get their act on.
I think 2019 is going to be big, right?
2019, there's a few things that have dropped.
Yeah, come on.
2019 is going to be,
Share it.
when I think about it, because already 2019 for me, Avengers 4, that just does the whole year.
Yeah.
But there's more. There's more.
Oh, tell us.
Oh man. Okay, so there's quite a lot of DC actually. DC actually. A few weeks ago we were saying how DC this, DC that. DC,
this Comic-Con and the stuff that I've been reading, like there's a new Superman animation. Superman dies. I think there was one that was just released. There was Aquaman. There was obviously the Superman stuff. There's we're gonna speak about like some other the streaming thing that they're coming up with
DC
as well.
Universe streaming service. Yep.
There is so much DC stuff going out, and I think they need to build on this momentum.
Yeah. Because it's good, and if Marvel's rocking, their boats rocking, under the scenes, and they should capitalize on this. But so DC. Okay, where should I start from? Let me go from.
Go for it.
Let me go from. Shazam.
God.
Yeah, Shazam. They dropped the trailer for Shazam at Comic-Con. And I must say, because we've heard about Shazam's being made, this and that. We've seen a few stills.
We spoke about it last week.
But I must say, I must admit, this trailer looks good. Yeah, Billy Batson. We talked about him being like big meat Superman.
Yeah.
And literally, when we saw the trailer, it looked like he was a kid, about 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think he goes to like a foster home. He's meeting his family. So it's a bit like Family and who your family is. I think the show is trying to get that as the essence, because obviously as a young kid, he's going to go to a new family. He's got to try and settle in. At school, he gets bullied and things like that. And from the trailer, you see that he's on a train, or the subway, they call it in America. And and he comes upon a magical character who is played by Jumon Honsu.
Oh, right,
You know the Who from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah.
Plays Korath, and I think he's been in Fast and Furious as well or something.
He's been
all over the block. But Jumon Honsu plays the character who gives the young boy Billy Batson his power, and he chooses him because he's got heart. He knows he hasn't got the strength. He hasn't got maybe what it takes, but he sees that he defends his friend's honor and himself against bullies, and he wants someone that's got that spirit.
Yeah.
So he gives Billy Batson the power of Shazam, and even says to him, "Say Shazam, and you'll get the powers." And he says Shazam, and boom, he is.
I can't wait for this.
Exactly. And just a little thing on Jumon Honsu. He is making the rounds,
This guy's been working on.
He's making the rounds because he's going to be in Shazam, playing that character. and you see his normal face, so you see him not in any prosthetics or anything like that or
Yeah.
animation. He's also in Aquaman playing one of these fish type characters, so he's voicing.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. Okay.
And there's a funny link because I don't know if I mentioned last week or a week before, Shazam, back in the day, like DC back in the day, Shazam was actually called Captain Marvel.
You mentioned this.
Yeah, Shazam was called Captain Marvel, and there was some sort of legal reason why DC had to stop calling him Captain Marvel.
Right.
Because Marvel had the rights for it, or something like that. And Jimon Honsu is in Captain Marvel as well.
Wow.
He's playing one of the. Who's he playing? I think he's one of the Kree, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because in Guardians.
Oh, no, he never turned up.
I remember in Guardians, he was one of the Kree people that were trying to track down the orb.
Yeah.
So he was with Conan the
Destroyer. Yeah.
Yeah, and Conan the Accuser.
Conan the
Yeah, so
yeah,
he was one
Ronan.
of the Kree that was with. So
Yeah,
Ronan the Accuser.
We'll get it fucking right one time.
Ronan the Accuser. So so Korath is all over the place.
Yeah.
He's getting his DC and Marvel on. He's
Wow.
really so Aquaman. Sorry, Shazam. The trailer looks awesome.
I can't
There's
wait.
comedy in it. Because think about it, yeah. I mean, imagine Superman with a 13-year-old boy's mind. When he gets his powers, he's testing his powers. They actually have a few tests where he tests his strength, tests if he can fly.
I love all that.
He's got like his little electricity sort of powers and stuff, and he goes saving a shop that's getting robbed, and it actually looks good. I'm not going to lie. This is out, I think, in April or May next year.
2019 is a massive year.
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then obviously again, we've got Aquaman. That trailer looked good, I must say.
And that's rocking this year.
December. Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's meant to be November originally, but now it's going to be December 21st, I think. So just before Christmas. So
right.
Yeah, I think because this year there's no Star Wars, so they're taking that slot.
Yeah,
usually Star Wars comes out.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm staying away from all the trailers.
Okay.
And
even the first trailers.
I saw that one.
Okay, yeah.
But now I'm like, because I don't want to kind of like put stuff in my head.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So this is it. So I'm listening to what you're saying. Like, it sounds great. And from what I read, everyone loved it. So I can't wait.
Aquaman. I mean, he's got attitude. He's like, even in the trailer, he's like, he's still got that kind of surfer kind of dude kind of
swagger going on.
Swagger,
And even in Justice League, when Bruce Wayne, when he hunts him out, and you see Jason Momoa for the first time, you're like, this guy is cool.
Yeah, he is. Like, his coolness is amped up in this film. It's his film. He owns it.
Yeah.
So his trailer, it shows that he's I guess they call him a half breed because he's half aqua or half Atlantean and half human.
Right.
So his mum is queen of Atlantis and his dad was he worked in a lighthouse.
Okay.
So his mum gets washed up near the lighthouse.
And
how does that happen? I don't know. The dad finds her. They knock boots.
Yeah,
as you do
definitely.
when you find someone washed up.
Exactly.
Knock boots. He's raised on Earth. So in school, he's a bit of an outsider.
Right.
Kids see him interacting with animals and they bully him. He goes to Atlantis. He's an outsider because he's half human. So he doesn't really fit in anywhere. So there's a bit of unrest in Atlantis, and he basically has to go back to settle that unrest and overcome the fact that he's not fully Atlantean, but he's the heir to the throne.
Right. Okay.
Because he's next in line after his dad, because he was born before his half brother, who is in Atlantis. So technically he's heir to the throne, but he doesn't really want it. He's a bit of a reluctant hero.
Yeah.
And Mira, who's played by what's her name?
We saw her in Justice League.
Yeah.
She was in Justice League as well.
She's Mira. She's gonna be his, like, I guess they're like sidekicks almost.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So Amber Heard. Yeah, Amber Heard.
Amber Heard.
Yeah, and
Johnny Depp's ex, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So she's going to be in the film. Nicole Kidman is queen of.
I didn't know she was in it.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman's in it. You know who else is in it? Who does he play? He plays one of the Atlanteans. He is Dolph Lundgren. He's in the film.
Oh, Dolph Lundgren.
Is gonna be,
Ivan Drago. Yeah. Oh my God.
He's going to be in the film. So It's going to have a few good people in it, so
That's
it's
good.
looking good. I must say, DC, both of these trailers look good.
Okay. And was there anything, tell me if there was any news on the Joker, anything Jokery, anything Batman related? Was there anything?
Not Batman related, no.
Okay.
Not yet. I mean, they are in works. Obviously, we mentioned this Gotham City Sirens or the Birds of Prey, I think it is, that one. That's still being created. I understand a Batgirl will be in the Arrowverse, so in the TV series, she's going to be introduced into that. Because I understand the Arrowverse is maybe some of the figures are slumping, so they're looking to introduce a new character to sort of bump it up. And for that demographic, they want someone who's a bit more, I guess, not your typical character that, you know, all male characters basically. So Batgirl is going to be introduced into the Arrowverse.
Yeah. And tell us about this other big news.
Yeah, Teen Titans. Yeah,
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans.
I saw the
live action.
I saw the trailer for this one.
The Teen Titans cartoons has been going for quite a while, and they're very popular.
Yeah,
very popular. I mean, popular amongst the kids, but also adults love it as well.
Yeah,
I know a couple of mums that have kids, and you know they like Teen Titans because their kids watch it, but they secretly sit there pretending to be washing the dishes, but they're watching Teen Titans.
What's
as
happening on the next episode?
Exactly. You know, so the trailer looks good.
I know.
And we mentioned a couple of weeks ago that's going to be a bit, hardcore.
Yep.
With blood and f bombs and all that.
All right. Okay. Just one thing before you carry on. Say to me in your best villain accent, where's Batman?
Okay. Where's Batman?
Fuck Batman. Okay, that was piss poor. But in the trailer,
that's the first thing we pretty much see. And when I first saw that, I thought, what? They're saying F.
Yeah.
Like,
so this is Dick Grayson, right?
Yeah,
this is the Dick Grayson version of Robin that we're going to see. Or is it? Yeah, it's Robin, right? It's not Nightwing.
Because no, it is. Sorry, it is. I think he becomes. He starts off. I'm not sure
as Robin.
Exactly. No. As Robin, then he becomes Dick Grayson, I believe.
Yeah. So he becomes Nightwing. After,
Nightwing. Yeah.
He says like, look, I've become my own hero now, so I don't need to be the sidekick anymore. Yeah. So I think that could link in with the whole thing about, you know, fuck Batman.
Exactly.
Like I've gone my own way.
He's going to be darker. He's going to probably be killing people and stuff, and he wants to be his own person. He's had enough. And I guess as the show goes, I mean, Raven looks like a main character in the role in the show. She's got crazy powers. Magical.
Is it fire? No, it's not fire or anything. No. What was it? Was there something in the trailer about fire? Did I see someone fire coming?
Starfire, another character. Yeah, she's a princess in another planet or something like that.
Right. Okay.
And then you have Beast Boy, who's like Beast but a boy.
Yeah. Well, imagine that one.
And they got a few other characters. There's a character. Got some wings, and they sort of fight with wings. I don't think they can fly, but they're kind of like a Hawk Girl and Hawkman, a bit like that.
Okay.
But yeah, Raven, she's got some crazy powers, and her powers originate in some dark dimension type place. And because she's another sort of half breed human and dark dimension sort of creature, and that creature's trying to track her down. And I think
tracks her down to Earth, probably.
Yeah. And in this season, her powers start manifesting as she sort of becomes into a woman, almost like puberty. And her powers start to manifest. She can't really control them, but if she can control them, if she does let them loose, it's a bit like Phoenix.
I was just about to say Phoenix.
Yeah, it's like the powers are a bit subdued, but when she gets emotional, they start dripping out. And if she really lets loose, everyone's gone. Yeah,
because in the trailer, they kind of, I think it's her character, Raven, is, look, I need your help.
Yeah.
So she goes to Dick Grayson, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think she's kind of there, and she wants the team to come together, and then they got to fight this kind of evil that's coming along. Now, the other big thing is about Teen Titans is we won't see it on normal, or we won't see it on kind of like Netflix or Amazon or anything like that. Tell us about this.
It's going to be released on the DC Universe streaming service, which I understand they're going to sort of have a soft launch in August, I believe. And then the main sort of full launch will be a couple of weeks after that, so maybe September.
Yeah.
So that will have everything DC in one place.
So you're talking about like all the animation, all the film, like the animation films that are on there. Yeah. I mean, Batman trilogy.
Yeah, Dark Knight trilogy, the original Batman, even Adam West Batman, the goofy kind of one.
Yeah.
All the Superman, everything DC, and also next year. Swamp Thing.
Oh, is that going to be
that's
on
in
there?
production? Yeah, Swamp Thing is going to be on the DC streaming service too. That's going to be again a bit like the Teen Titans series.
Here's a question for you: is all of that going to be enough for people to kind of pay out another subscription? And I was looking at the pricing on this, so it's going to be around about $80 for the whole year,
Okay.
or about $8 per month.
I think that's actually, if you're really into it,
Yeah.
I mean, it's another thing to pay for,
Yeah.
you know, but I guess if you're really into it,
Yeah.
because you also get comics as well on there.
Oh,
You get access to comics as well. So you get a few things, you know.
Sure.
I'm sure they might have some sort of package or something to sort
Yeah.
of, you know, get people in. Maybe something free for a month or so first, or I don't know how it's going to work. But I think if you're really into it,
Yeah.
you're going to kind of be forced to give it a go.
yeah,
You know, so-
definitely. And especially if you want to see Teen Titans now, that
Exactly.
is
That's
the only
the only
place,
place, yeah.
the only place where you'll be able
They'll
to
have a
catch
few
up on.
exclusive shows, like Swamp Thing will be exclusive, and I'm sure they'll have some other things as well. And maybe they might pull their other DC shows off other services to force you to go there.
Imagine if, like,
Possibly.
because I'm a big fan of The Flash.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would hate for
Yeah.
that to kind of like
Yeah.
go over there, because I'm like, oh shit, I want to see The Flash.
Exactly.
So,
So or maybe
okay.
they might show older episodes on other services.
Right,
'Cause
okay.
They still got to make money by selling their content
Yeah.
to other services. That's how they make a lot of money as well.
Yeah,
so.
like I think it's on like the CW.
Yeah, that's right, yeah,
it's the
that's
Flash
right,
and Arrow.
yeah.
They're all on that one. Wow. I mean, I still, and Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con hasn't finished yet, has it?
It finishes Sunday 22nd.
Sunday
That's
the
the last
22nd.
day, yeah. So it's a 4-day sort of stint, and Sunday the 22nd
Right. Okay.
is when it ends. So
Wow.
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be loads more news to come out yet.
exactly.
Loads of panels.
Yeah,
Loads of people talking about the new stuff. And another big thing that was on there was Johnny Depp. He turned up to one of the panel talks as he turned up in character for the latest. I think it's called
I know.
Fantastic Beasts.
yeah, that one. The one with what's his name? The one that was in the Hawking's.
Stephen Hawking's, yeah.
That actor.
Yeah.
Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne. We're really good at remembering names, aren't we?
We are. We should get an Oscar for this. Seriously. But I mean, yeah, the big news was that Johnny Depp, he came out of nowhere.
In character.
Full costume.
What?
And he plays the villain.
Okay.
Yeah, he plays the villain
Okay.
of the new one, and it's called The Crimes of Grindelwald. So he's a character from.
He loves these quirky roles, isn't
Yeah, I think he's. Yeah,
Who is he? No one really knows. I mean,
And I don't even know how old this
have
guy
you heard him talk? Have you heard him speak in his normal voice?
is. It like, does he really?
No, he sounds like a proper like a southern kind of.
Really?
Can you say redneck? Is that politically correct?
Well,
I don't know.
fuck it, we just said it.
But yeah, so he kind of sounds like that, kind of like southern
Yeah.
kind of. You can't really. For me, I struggle to understand him when
Yeah.
I hear his normal voice. But
Exactly, yeah.
I guess it shows that he's a really diverse actor. So it
This
shows he's
guy
really
can
good.
do the accents. He can
Yeah.
put on like a performance like no other. So
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, yeah, there was a lot of kind of he has received a lot of criticism recently, like the way there was some shit going on in his life with his ex-wife,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah,
him suing, or his managers were suing him for loads of money.
wow.
But I think, look, he's back and he's charismatic, so he brings a lot of people. He's
Yeah.
got a huge fan
Yeah.
following.
Yeah.
So what? That is a lot of stuff
A
then.
lot of stuff, yeah. And there'll be trickles of other bits. Oh no, one more thing. Oh my gosh, how can I forget? Oh my gosh.
What?
One more thing before we stop the news.
What?
Glass.
Oh.
The trailer for Glass.
Bro, this is what I was going to mention
my
to you.
gosh. M. Night
Shyamalan. We are
He
going to get
is
this right. Seriously,
gangster. The
I
trailer
saw
looks
this.
wicked.
This trailer was wicked, and I'll tell you the thing that I was the most surprised about: the Beast.
Yeah.
James McAvoy.
Yeah.
There's a shot
Yeah.
of the Beast running.
Yeah. Like
And- like a werewolf or
yeah,
something.
Yeah.
And I'm
He actually ran a bit like Beast and X-Men.
Absolutely.
Like, kind of like on all fours kind of thing.
He's doing this thing right, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to see this. And it's just so clever how he's made like a trilogy out of this thing.
Yeah.
So
There's a scene in the trailer with Samuel L. Jackson's character, James McAvoy's character or characters,
Yeah.
and Bruce Willis sitting down in a chair, and they're getting interviewed by the
Sarah,
lady-
her name is Sarah Paulson. She's like a
She was on
psychiatrist.
Ocean's 8, wasn't she?
Yeah,
And
she
she's
was.
been
Yeah.
in other bits and bobs as well.
Yeah.
But that scene with them three there, oh my gosh.
So does this mean that they've been, like, I don't know, they're arrested, they've been captured, or
I guess I don't know actually, because they weren't in any kind of were there any binds or handcuffs? I can't remember, but
you know what? I'm really, really interested to find out. Has Samuel L. Jackson, has he got any special powers?
He's a
Or is
high
it
level intellect.
Intellect, right? Yeah.
So I don't know how he. I mean, yeah, that could be his special power, his intellect. But in the trailer, it sort of alludes to him. I don't know if you can call it controlling or pairing up or teaming up with the Beast or James McAvoy's characters.
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis having to clean up what they're doing or they're trying to fight against them.
Yeah.
But it just looks good. I mean,
know.
The trailer's it's a bit of a teaser. Also, you get Anya Taylor-Joy's character.
Yep. She was in.
She was in Split. And
Yeah.
she's been in The Witch. She's a really up and coming great actress.
She was in
also
the
in Marab. Yeah, that one.
Where we'll speak about that later.
So
afterwards.
she's in it, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see some other people from other films maybe cross into that. But it looks really, really good, and that's out next year sometime.
That is, and
I can't wait.
And from the fan reaction is that has got a lot of kind of words in the press.
Yeah.
Loads of people talking about it on Twitter, things like that. Loads of people are really interested, and so am I. So yeah, it's a lot of shit in San Diego.
One other thing as well. Sorry, it's just one last thing.
Please, go on.
Oh, okay. Godzilla, King of Monsters.
Shit.
Godzilla, King of Monsters. Yeah?
So this trailer I saw, and I did see this, and this has got 11. So this is Millie
Bobby Brown.
Millie Bobby Brown from everyone will know her from Stranger Things.
Yeah. And she's perfect in the role. Just seeing her in that role in that dark room and all that.
She's on the radio. There's this thing, and she's like, she's freaking out, and oh my god! So we're gonna see a lot of say it.
Well, Gojira. He looks mean in this.
I know.
It's like he's been to the gym.
Exactly.
I don't know what gym he'll go
like
to. It'll be like Mount Fiji lifting that up and all that.
There's a shot at the end where he's like his beam comes out, and I was like, oh my god, this is mad.
At the end of that beam, he should have the Batman signal.
It was so wicked, man. So this is massive. This is big.
Other monsters, some crazy looking monsters coming out of that as well. Like there's this massive butterfly looking one. Or there's going to be some.
Wasn't that in the
in the first Godzilla? There were other kind of monsters, but I don't remember one looking like that. But this is going to have some crazy fights going on.
And again, just so that you can refresh my memory. So Gojira only comes when there's like
when there's like a worldwide threat. Yeah.
So they need to summon up Godzilla. Needs to come back and kick ass again.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I wonder if Godzuki's going to be in it.
Whoa.
Godzuki. I love the cartoon. Remember Godzilla? Godzilla and Godzuki.
All I know is there's if you go online on YouTube, there's kind of like some Japanese stuff.
Okay.
Right, where I tell you what, it's so bad. It's like they have these mashups where like it was Godzilla versus like another character, what's the thing that begins with M? Like there's a Mog.
I don't know.
It's just so
a man in a suit, isn't
it? It's just hilarious, some of this stuff. So you're probably going to get all those like other characters come in there as well.
Godzuki, I don't remember from the cartoons, the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Godzuki was the little baby version.
That rings a bell.
Yeah, remember all those cartoons from the Scooby-Doo and all that? Yeah, Godzuki was a little baby Godzilla.
Oh,
he brought the comic relief.
I don't even remember that.
I'll show you afterwards. Yeah, Godzuki. He was funny, man.
Oh, wicked. So that was like big news. Loads of
so
films.
That's coming out next year. Next year is looking good.
Yeah.
First 6 months of next year is looking good.
Yeah. So ladies and gents, if you've got any other news.
That was big news today,
Yeah. If you've got any other news that you want to share with us, please put it on our Twitter, on our Facebook, on our YouTube channels. Just get it out there so we can talk about it. And we love reading up on this stuff.
Yeah. Love it.
All right, so let's move on now to the UK's box office top 10, and we've got a new entry in there. We've got a couple of new entries, actually. No, actually, one new entry. No, two new entries. Sorry, what am I talking? I'm talking bollocks. So listen. So at number 10, and it's drifting out, isn't it? It's Adrift.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
I like that. I like that.
So I didn't get a chance. I mean, there's just too much stuff to watch.
Yeah.
And I've got to tell you, Deval, this week I have been finishing up on Money Heist.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I've been finishing up on Luke Cage. So I didn't have that much time to watch anything in the top 10 apart from one of those, which I'll speak about in a bit. So number 10 is Adrift. Number 9, still in the UK's box office top 10, is Hereditary. We've seen it. We loved it. We said a lot of stuff about it. Go back and listen to one of our episodes to hear what we think about it. And tell us what you think about it. Number 8 is an Indian film, a Bollywood film. It's called Sanju. It's still in there, which is, wow. I mean, it's 2 weeks. It's in the top 10. Again, Send us your review. We haven't seen it. Sitting in at number 7 is Sicario 2 Soldado. I personally thought it was a great film. It kind of pushes the story forward. Deval, you didn't think it was as good as the first one.
No.
Rightly so. So listen to episode, I think episode 7.
Yeah, I think so. Or 8.
Oh, sorry, 8.
Episode 8, yeah.
Listen to episode 8 on that one. Number 6 is a new film, The Secret of Marrowbone. We've both seen this film, and I'll mention a little bit about it. But yeah, so that's a new entry. Sitting in at number 5 is Ocean's 8, which is...
It's still there. It's been there for a few weeks, I'd say. Maybe 4 weeks now,
it's still
maybe.
kind of pulling in the viewers, right?
Yeah, it still is.
I think next week it'll be kind of a bit... it'll drop...
It'll be number 8 next week, where it belongs. In the ocean.
Ironic 8.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. What have we got here? Number 4. So
the first Purge was number 1 last week, and now it's number 4. It's slipping down.
it is going.
I think it's going to be like number 9 next week.
And you summed it up
I didn't really fancy
with a
it.
one. No, you summed it up with a one like sentence review.
Oh,
It should be.
The Last Purge.
That was classic. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
It should be The Last Purge. Okay. Number 3. Wow, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom still
That
in
hasn't
there.
moved, is it? It's been quite,
It's one or two, and now it's in 3. So maybe
I think we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, that it's one of those films that after like kids have had their school holidays and stuff like that, they're going to go and see this film. I mean, this film has grossed 38 million in the UK. That's more than all the other films put together at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely right.
That's a lot of do-re-mi. 38 million in the UK alone. What's it done in America? It's done probably 4 or 5 times that at least.
Yeah, and clearly there's going to be another one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So worldwide, I mean, these films, they do like shitloads of money.
Yeah.
So definitely there's going to be another one. So obviously we'll read up on that, and if we hear any news on that, we'll let you guys know. In at number 2 is Skyscraper, and it's not from the grapevine. I still haven't seen this. You've seen it. You thought it was a really good Dwayne Johnson film.
Yeah.
He brings a different side to the role, you said, and we see some weaknesses in him.
Yeah. Which is different. It's actually,
we haven't really seen, have we?
I've never seen before. Yeah.
From what I've read, though, it hasn't done well at the US box office.
Yeah, you're right.
So some people are calling it, for a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson film, it's a flop. Now
They had high hopes for Skyscraper, didn't they?
Oh gosh, yeah, it just didn't reach the high ceiling.
No.
That's a shit one. That was a shit one. I'm sorry, I can't do those. So yeah, so what do you want to say about this?
What, Skyscraper you mean, or number 1? Skyscraper.
Skyscraper.
I mean, it had the positives. I thought was that it showed the character having weaknesses that we've never seen before, and he had to sort of use those weaknesses to overcome his challenge. And it was a bit different, but at the same time, it was a bit of a Die Hard kind of thing.
Yeah,
but
that was it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun film, but I wouldn't see it again.
Yeah, so you could say it didn't reach those heights.
No, it didn't.
I got one in there. I got one in the end.
In the end.
Okay, so in at number 1, the UK's box office number 1 film this week is Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
And I've heard some really good stuff about this. I haven't seen it. You have.
I've seen it. Yeah, I'll talk more about it a bit later.
You're going to talk more about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, we'll. But from what I've read, it's doing really well in America, worldwide. I think it's a Pixar film, right? Is it Pixar?
Yeah.
These films, they always clean up. So, ladies and gents, that's your UK's box office top 10. Let's now move on to out this week or month on Blu-ray. And what have we got? Oh, I see a film on here. I see a film on here.
That was just for you.
And you know what?
Never get rid of this person, you know?
This film is just like... So, we've got here Peter Rabbit.
Yeah. Peter flipping Rabbit.
Is out. Wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
Is that already out on Blu-ray?
Yeah. I guess they're trying to make money from the kids being off on holidays, get the DVD for the kids and stuff like that. So... Yeah, Peter Rabbit, man.
So if you like your rabbit-based films, go out and buy this one.
Yeah.
So I mean, we ain't got much more to say to that one.
That's that.
Okay, so tell us about this next one that you put on there.
Unsane, which I'm going to review, or not review, I'm going to talk about as one of my hidden gems, actually. Unsane is out this week. And that's all I'm going to say about it now. I will talk about it more.
I didn't see this when it came out. It wasn't
Many
out on
people
cinema.
didn't see it. I didn't see it in the cinema. But it wasn't, it came out. The reason why you didn't see it, and the reason why it went under the sort of radar, is because it came out, I think, the same week, or came out a week before Infinity War.
Well,
and
there you go.
That just flooded the box office. So a lot of people missed out on Unsane.
Okay.
But it's in my hidden gems
So
list for a
listen
reason.
out for that one.
Yep.
What else have we got?
X-Files, which I love. I grew up on the X-Files when it first came out in 91. I watched every single episode.
Yeah.
And we had season 10 come out, I think, last year or year before. And season 11 came out. Was it end of last year? That's the latest season 11.
Now I've got to admit, I haven't seen season 10 and I haven't seen season 11. So but I know the whole storyline with the kid.
Yeah.
Is that still going on?
Yeah, it happens. That goes on in season 11, more than season 10.
Okay.
Yeah, in season 11 you get more to do with the kid.
And will there be a season 12?
I don't know. There hasn't been any news about it, and the way it ended. It could always be, but at the same time, they can leave it as it is. Maybe they can, revisit it in the future if David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson want to do it again. It depends, but I like X-Files.
Yeah,
I like it.
I remember from in the 90s watching that show, and it only occurred to me later on, like years later, Gillian Anderson, British.
Yeah, she was born in. Where was she born? Somewhere in the UK, but she just spent time in America, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, and then when I heard her speaking like with an English accent, I was like, what? No. So I was like really surprised. So
yeah. Really good.
And loads of kind of like actors have been on throughout those 10, 11 seasons.
Yeah.
Loads of people have directed shows, directed episodes, and they've gone on to bigger things. So
yeah, exactly.
It's one of those.
Even Bryan Cranston was in an episode of the X-Files.
He was indeed. Yeah.
A lot of people have been in that.
Okay, so next up is a film called Mary
Magdalene. Yeah,
tell us
another one
about
that went
this.
under the radar. I've actually seen it yet, but it's out. I remember when it was in the cinema, and but it's out on DVD, Blu-ray this week.
Joaquin
Phoenix, and what's her name? I'll remember her name soon. Rooney Mara.
That's it.
Rooney Mara. Yeah. So she's Mary Magdalene, and Joaquin Phoenix is he Joseph or something? I don't think he's Jesus.
Okay.
I think he may be Joseph.
Okay. I like the way he said Jesus as well.
That's the best way to say it.
Exactly.
That's the best way to say it.
It is, man. It is.
And Deep Blue Sea Part 2.
Now, hang on.
That's the one with Samuel L. Jackson, and he gets
And
swallowed by the shark.
And he gets his arm bitten off, doesn't he?
No, this is one with a shark where he's talking, and a shark comes from behind him and just swallows him whole. The arm was in Jurassic Park. Yeah, but Deep Blue Sea 1 had LL Cool J in it.
That was it.
Yeah,
and he survives.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
the
I remember.
survived
Yeah, I remember.
once,
I remember that one. So when did this come out?
This as well. I don't know when. I don't know if it went.
I don't even remember. I don't even remember.
Maybe not in the UK, maybe in America, but here it's coming out on DVD this week. But I don't remember seeing it in the cinema. I don't think this film would have survived in the cinema. I don't think they would. I don't think there's no use. I don't think it's big enough to go in the cinema.
Exactly. So.
Nah.
I mean, who were apart from Samuel L. Jackson? Who were the other?
The guy
Samuel L. Cool J.
Yeah, I think the guy from The Punisher, and he was in The Mist. I think he was in it as well.
Right.
And I can't remember who the female lead was, but yeah, it was okay in its time. It came out quite a while ago.
Thanks for that one, Devour. So tell us what's on streaming and what new trailers have we got to look forward to?
Yeah, so on streaming services, How It Ends.
I have not. Tell us about this one.
Well, I can't tell you how it ends because that would spoil the film.
I walked into that one.
But yeah, that's
How does it start?
How does it start? Well, Netflix starring Forrest Whitaker, and basically it seems quite post-apocalyptic.
Right.
Or some sort of event has happened, and Forrest Whitaker has to go into the sort of nucleus of this event and save his daughter, I believe it is, and his daughter's boyfriend or fiance is like his sort of sidekick.
Right.
So it's a bit of a crazy one, but they need to, I guess, two characters that are maybe not the best friends have to team up and try and save their common love, basically.
Yeah, and it's like a dad and a son-in-law type of thing.
Exactly,
So
yeah, exactly,
already
yeah.
he probably hates the son,
Exactly.
right? You know.
Exactly. So I guess it will look at their relationship. Maybe maybe the dad doesn't approve of the man, maybe, but then he proves himself to be, a good man by sacrificing something,
kicking
to save
ass
his daughter.
as well.
Exactly.
It's action, right? As well,
Yeah,
right?
it is, yeah.
I'm
It's like
assuming
an
it's
action
action
type film. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
I mean, I love. Sorry to interrupt, but
That's
I mean,
all right.
I was going to say, I love Forrest Whitaker. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
exactly. Yeah.
this guy's great. He's
Yeah.
been like
Ghost Dog. On
Ghost
the roof,
Way
like
of
Ghost.
Way of the Warrior.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that movie. So underrated.
That's a hidden gem for the future.
Please
That's a hidden gem for the
get
future.
that one. Get that one on there. I mean, and like Color of Money, he's been in, and he's done like obviously Last King of Scotland, which he won the Oscar for.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
That's what I feel. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of like a really, really good role for him there.
That's like, I mean, actors like him, any actor, because we think of actors, Hollywood actors, as these picture perfect people, and they're just perfect. They look photoshopped. He's obviously not in that category, but he's a great actor.
His
I
presence.
like seeing actors that have imperfections, if I can say that.
Definitely.
And those imperfections are not are not part of their character. Like Peter Dinklage, he's one. He plays characters that he's just a character.
Yeah.
He's if I can say imperfection it's not part of the role.
It doesn't hinder him, does
Exactly.
it? And you see kind of this great performance come out.
Exactly. I think Joaquin Phoenix has a little
A cleft
lip or something.
Yeah.
Who cares? No one talks about it. He's an actor. Do your job. That's
Exactly.
it. The guy that played Omar in The Wire, he's got a massive scar down his face.
Yes.
I can't
yes.
remember his
I
real
can't
name,
remember his
but
name.
He's
but
been in many roles.
He's wicked.
And again, that's not defining him.
Yeah.
So I like to. And Forrest Whitaker has a lazy eye.
Exactly.
Who cares? Do your role.
Exactly.
Do it great.
And I give like total respect for Forrest Whitaker as well, also because he was in a Jean-Claude Van Damme film,
Was he? What film was that?
Bloodsport.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, that almost came into one of my hidden anniversary corner. Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker in Bloodsport. It was just
yeah,
like when I saw him in that, I was like, "What? This guy? Like, what?" But
Yeah.
I tell you what, props to him, man. He's wicked. So
yeah.
that looks really good. We've already spoken a bit about Godzilla, King of the
We
Monsters,
have,
but
yeah.
the trailer is it's kind of like you got to watch it, right?
Yeah, it's got to be watched, guys. Please watch Godzilla,
Yeah.
King of the Monsters, and also Glass as well. Please watch those trailers. They are out now.
And go watch them. Tell us what you think. Also, if you go to our YouTube channel, we've got a playlist, and on that playlist, we are going to be adding more and more trailers. So there's already about 5-6 different trailers on there, and we'll be updating it all the time. So whenever we see a good trailer, we're going to put it up there, or if we see a trailer that we think you're going to like, we'll just put it up there. So go check our YouTube channel and have a look at our playlist for trailers to come. And one of the ones that I want to mention on there that we recently updated with was a film called A Prayer Before Dawn. Have you heard of this one?
No.
This came out of nowhere. I never heard it was being made or anything like that. And obviously, why should I? But I saw this because I was just, doing some research on latest films, and I clicked on the link, watched the trailer, and it looks wicked. So it's based on a true story about a Scouser, about someone from Liverpool who gets arrested in Thailand, gets sent to prison, and he literally has to fight his way out of prison. So
That's a tough prison,
those jails,
man. Yeah.
those jails
Being banged up abroad is not a joke.
Exactly. And so the trailer, you see the obviously trailer, it opens up with the actor, and I think his name is Joe Cole, and he plays one of the Peaky Blinders.
Okay, I've never seen that show.
It's really good.
Okay.
It's really good. So this guy he's got a lot of charisma, a lot of presence, and I thought whilst watching this, he brings his A game to it. So it's a story about obviously redemption. It's a story about getting out. It's a story about like fighting your way out of a tough situation. It's a story about, from what I gather, of you've made some wrong choices, but now you got to redeem yourself. So you see he's getting the shit kicked out of him. And the only way for him to survive is he's got to learn Thai boxing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Inside the prison.
Damn.
And they say, like in the trailer, you'll see it. You say, look, if you don't fight, we're basically going to kill you. Imagine this: you stick out like a sore thumb. You're in a Thai jail.
Yeah.
You're white. You're a foreigner, and you got to defend yourself. And the only way to do that is by fighting. So in real life, he had to learn like Muay Thai boxing.
Oh, wow.
And by the end of it, from all the research that I kind of did, was he did get released. The Thai government, they pardoned him.
Serious?
Yeah. And they said, look, you can go back to your country and you can, finish up your sentence over there.
Wow.
It looks really good. So that's one I'm looking forward to. And also Patient Zero.
Patient Zero
Is another trailer.
Before Patient One,
Patient Zero is a zombie film which is going to be rocking on Netflix later on this year or the beginning of next year. And it stars Stanley Tucci.
The name rings a bell. Oh, yeah, that's the guy that was in Devil Wears Prada, and he was Dr. Abraham. What's his name from Captain America?
Captain America. Yeah. Do you remember the whiskey, the drink that he has with
Cap?
With Cap. So Stanley Tucci out, and it's got Matt Smith. Now, Matt Smith, if anyone's a Doctor Who fan, will know he played Doctor Who.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, so he played Doctor Who for about 3-4 seasons, and then he went off to make. He was in Terminator Genesis.
Oh, okay.
So he was in that at the end. Patient Zero is a zombie film, so it's what happens after the zombie outbreak, if that's what you want to call it. And Stanley Tucci has been infected, however, he hasn't turned. And Matt Smith is the only one that can communicate with him.
Oh, wow.
So there's this kind of dynamic of, right, okay, we need to stop the zombie outbreak, but there's only Stanley Tucci who can help out, and there's Matt Smith who's the only one who can understand their language, and Stanley Tucci, he can speak the language.
What, the zombie language?
Yeah.
I'll have 2 sugars, please, not 3. Yeah, extra cheese, please. No, channel 4.
Basically,
is that what this is?
Basically, that's what it is. So you go.
I'm just thinking, as you're saying it, that's what I'm thinking of.
What exactly? It's like, apparently from the trailer you get that Matt Smith can only communicate with him in their language, and they got to help it. So the zombie, the half zombie, half human, has to help out the human race to stop the zombies from killing everyone. Yeah. So
can you imagine? Imagine if Arnold Schwarzenegger was in it. Get to the chopper. Imagine.
Holy shit, I love it. This is brilliant. So ladies and gents, those are our trailers. Go check them out.
Check them out.
Anniversary
corner now, isn't it?
Anniversary
corner.
Okay, so Deval, what have we got on Anniversary Corner?
So we got 2008, which is 10 years ago. The Wrestler.
Wow.
Yeah, The Wrestler. That was sort of like a bit of a comeback film for what's his name again? For The Wrestler.
Fuck.
So
we
bad with
always
names,
and
I know his name.
I know
but the second
his
I try
name.
and think about it, it hides.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? He was in Iron Man 2 as well.
Yeah.
And he's been in. Wasn't he in 9.5 weeks?
You know what? Listen, carry on talking.
So this film is about a wrestler who, back in the day, was very popular, a good fighter, basically. And he has a lot of personal issues, personal troubles, and he alcoholic and drugs, all that kind of stuff. And he looks to come back, revive his career. And it looks at the struggle and the journey this character goes through to get back the respect, get his body back in shape, and just how hard it is for someone that's retired maybe or stopped working in that industry to come back and actually fight and compete.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to say just the first letter of his first name.
Okay, go on then.
M.
Mickey Rourke. Yes, I knew it. It's all.
There you go.
How did we get this job?
This is bad. This is terrible. Mickey Rourke. If you're listening, right, we apologize, okay, for forgetting your name. But you're absolutely right. I remember watching this film back in 2008. And it stars Marissa Tomei.
Yeah.
And it's just this guy, and he's a troubled person.
Yeah.
He has a shitty relationship with his daughter. So you've got kind of, he wants to reconnect with his daughter as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's a fighter, he's a wrestler.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like him going out. It's him saying, look, this is me, this is who I am, and I'm going to go right till the end.
And he can't quit, but his body is almost telling him to quit.
And
because he's got all kinds of injuries. Also, wrestling, behind the scenes, wrestling, when they're all bleeding and stuff like that. Some, like back in the day, I don't know about now, back in the day, they used to use these little razors. They'll cut themselves in the forehead so it looks like they're bleeding.
I read about this
in the film.
I know, I read about this.
Yeah.
And if you go back to, that's why, do you remember, obviously you had WWF and then WWE, but do you remember TNT wrestling?
Yeah, that was a bit hardcore, wasn't it? Yeah,
that was... A lot of people who love the TNT stuff would say, oh, the WWF is shit because it's just so fake. The TNT stuff is when they hit, like, they would actually, like, give you a massive slap.
Hardcore.
It was a bit more.
Yeah.
So I remember it's heartbreaking, like watching this film because he's not winning. He's not kind of like getting anywhere. And there's a bit in there where, he's done his thing. He's had his fight. He's sitting at the back. He's sitting on a stool. And the camera pans across and you see all these different wrestlers just kind of like there. And you got some fans coming over to him. And like, I was just like, how lonely.
I bet that story probably echoes a wrestler in real life. They probably saw that and thought, shit, that's my life.
Yeah.
Bro. It was a really good independent film, wasn't it? Not massive budget. And he actually lends to the character because he looks quite haggard. He's been through quite a lot. And I think, the plastic surgery went wrong or whatever. And he actually looks like how that kind of wrestler would look.
Absolutely. And he was nominated for an Oscar and everyone was saying, oh, he's going to win, he's going to win, he's going to win. And then he didn't win it.
Yeah.
Like if anyone was to deserve a Oscar, that should have been it for Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant shout out on the anniversary corner there. Okay, tell us what else have we got?
Lost in Translation, 2003. So 15 years ago. And this was my good friend, Scarlett Johansson,
Black Widow,
Black Widow, and our uncle, Bill Murray,
Mr. Murray.
So this is 2003. How old was she then? She was quite young, wasn't she?
Really
Scarlett
young.
Johansson, and the age gap between Scarlett Johansson's character and Bill Murray's character, a lot of years in there. But it's their relationship, isn't it? And just how they, I guess, connect and if it's right, if it's wrong, kind of thing. And
yeah, totally.
It's a bit of a funny one.
And they're in a country where they both kind of like feel out of place.
Yeah, was it Japan? Japan, isn't it? Yeah,
absolutely. It was Japan. So Bill Murray, he's out there and he's being paid like shitloads of money to do these adverts, and he's kind of like this old. So not old, but he's kind of like he's been in the industry, like he plays an actor or something like that, and
he's a seasoned vet,
and he's like, okay, look. Is he doing this? He's just doing this for the money, basically. But lo and behold, he meets Scarlett Johansson's character, and they have this amazing, like you say, friendship, relationship, love, chemistry. Yeah. Even though there is that age difference, she sees in him the things that she wants to see in her husband or her partner, who's played by Giovanni Ribisi, who's like this character actor who's been around a lot, and he's really cool. And here's a question that I want to ask you. The end scene, Bill Murray, he whispers something.
Yeah. No.
All right, what do you think he says?
I reckon, knowing him, he probably said to her, I was in Ghostbusters.
Well, apparently, I was reading up on this, and apparently it was all improvised. So the whispering was improvised, and the kiss at the end was improvised as well. But I'm going to take it one step further for you. So when I was reading up on this,
here we go.
A guy somewhere in the world out there, and wherever you are, like congratulations, like whatever a clap, he took that scene. He slowed down the conversation. He used a digitizer or something, and he said, and he put it out there that this is what Bill Murray says. Do you want me to read it out to you?
What does he say?
Do you want me to read it out to you?
Yes, please.
Okay. So apparently, this is what Bill Murray whispers to Scarlett Johansson's character at the end. He says, "I have to be leaving, but I won't let that come between us. Okay."
Is that it? Okay. Oh my gosh.
And then he walks away.
Oh.
So that burning question, what did Bill Murray say? That's what he said. Oh. So it kind of gives the impression that like no matter what, I'll find you and we'll be together on and that's why she smiles at the end.
Okay, because she knows she's going to see him again. It's goodbye, but it's not farewell kind of thing.
And he doesn't say goodbye.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's good.
It's good, right? So you can check it out. So all I did was just type in, what did Bill Murray say to Scarlett Johansson at the end of Lost in Translation? That came out. But great shout out. It's a great film.
Cool.
Great soundtrack as well. I remember downloading a couple of these songs from the album, and I just like listen sometimes when I'm in that
Sometimes
mood.
the music makes the film, you just that much better.
It does. Brilliant.
Damn.
Okay, so what else have we got?
So the next one is Saving Private Ryan, which is 1998, 20 years ago. And this one, great film. I mean, that first scene on the French beach, I think it was. Even when I see it now, I'm like, how can anyone be in that situation? Bullets are coming in left, right, and center, and you're still going forward.
Yeah.
Blimey neck. I mean, Steven Spielberg. This film was littered with stars. You got Tom Hanks. I think was Vin Diesel in this one. He had a small part in this one, didn't he?
This is it. This was Vin Diesel's. I'm sure it was his breakout role or something.
I think Spielberg. I think Vin Diesel done a short film maybe a year or so before, and he was kind of sort of breaking through, and Spielberg liked his work and gave him a part in this film.
Yeah.
And then from that he kicked on to do Pitch Black a couple of years later, or
That
1
was
year
it.
later,
And
I think it was.
the rest is history.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, Matt Damon's
Damon's
in this film.
in
You had the guy, is it Michael Madsen? Is he in it? The one that's always taking a bit the dirt.
Yeah.
And he's always collecting the dirt. And I think, is that his name or someone else? But he was in Reservoir. He's been in a Tarantino film or something.
He has been, and he was in. I know the guy that you're talking about.
He went a bit mad, isn't it? He's the guy that went a bit mad.
He did.
There's videos of him
Like,
drunk and stuff, and he's just going crazy,
coked out of his head and stuff like that.
His career's gone a bit.
But I think
tits up.
that was his high point.
Yeah, that was his pinnacle.
Definitely his high point. And you had loads of characters. But there's one thing that I want to kind of mention to you. That opening scene.
Yeah.
I mean, what a shock to the senses.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember when the hype around this film was coming out, and they were like, Spielberg was turning around and said, listen, I want to try and make it as real as possible. So the limbs flying, people, body parts being like kind of strewn across the beach and everything. And there's a bit in there where a guy, he gets shot with his helmet, and he's like, hey, I got shot in my helmet, and he survives, and then he takes his helmet off, and then it gets his head blown off. So that is the reality of war.
Yeah.
It's not like fun, obviously not. It's not. It's bloody.
Yeah, and there's another bit where there's a guy. I think he's been shot in the belly and his intestines and stuff, and he's shouting. He's looking at it, and they're telling him, "Oh, like let's take him." And someone else is saying, "He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it." But they can't show him that.
Yeah.
Because then it's like he knows he's going to die, kind of thing. It's just crazy. I mean, and the special effects, the practical effects, I should say, rather all the guts and blood and the sound effects as well. There's a few bits where you hear the bullets whizzing past, and I think something happens, and when you hear that high pitched noise when you've been exposed to a high frequency of sound, and things go all kind of funny, you don't hear anything else for a while. That happens, and like you say about the senses, it just overcomes all your senses.
There's a bit in there where they go underwater as well, and you hear the bullets whizzing in the water. I thought that was brilliant. Tom Hanks, I mean, he was brilliant in that one. So
I think that film just missed the Oscar though. I think Shakespeare in Love won the Oscar that year.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I think that's the case. Yeah, 1998.
Oh, man.
I think there's a bit of controversy about that one, but yeah, I think Shakespeare in Love got that one.
No, Saving Private Ryan. That should have won.
Yeah, well.
Oh, well, that's the Oscar for you, right? Okay. So tell us about the next one on your list.
Next one here, 1993, 25 years. I've got a bit anime here. I love my anime. Ninja Scroll.
Oh, wow.
Ninja Scroll.
I haven't seen this,
It's probably my favorite manga.
Oh, wow.
Movie, that is anyway. Ninja Scroll is wicked.
Yeah.
It's perfect from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
The typical sort of manga hero with his sword and his look, and just the way they fight, the sound effects, the villains. Oh, the guy's called the main the hero type guy's called Jubei.
Okay.
And he's like one of those like anti-hero kind of guys, like sort of Clint Eastwood kind of, just a wanderer walking through, minding his own business, and somehow people get in his way. One thing leads to another, and he just obviously he wants to make money, so he's going to do his thing to try and make some money, and but it's just the story, the fights, it's hardcore as well. People get people getting chopped up.
Yeah.
Because these are ninjas from back in I don't know what century it's in, but it's not current at all.
Yeah.
It's maybe the 19th century or something
I'm
like that.
gonna check that out because I love
it's
it.
Such a good film.
It kind of reminds me of. One of my favorites is Fist of the North Star.
Oh yeah, that's a classic one. Yeah.
For me, that is my favorite.
That's a classic.
Yeah. So,
this one here. I mean, I've got it. I can give it to you.
I want to check that one out.
There's a few fights in this film, and the music, like you hear the sort of the drums going.
I love it.
You're seeing all these Death Stars flying, going, and you hear that. You know when ninjas run, and they run like. And they hold their sword behind them so it doesn't get in their way.
I love
you see all that kind of stuff, and you see all that kind of like the sort of typical sort of manga background. When someone jumps, they go,
and then you see
the background's all.
You know what?
All of this.
I love that. And you know what? Where I saw that most recently, do you remember Kill Bill?
Yeah.
You know what? Tarantino, he's a huge fan of anime as well, and that's what he wanted to infuse that into his film as well. So I love that.
Excellent film. You got to see it. Trust me, you got to see it.
Wicked.
And then 30 years, 1988.
I remember this film, Willow. Oh my God. Warwick Davis.
Oh yeah, he's in it. Yeah. From
Warwick
Star
Davis
Wars as well.
Yeah. I mean, and Val Kilmer. This is like
this is like a Lord of the Rings type of film, wasn't it?
Before there was Lord of the Rings, and loads of people cite Willow as it didn't. I don't think it did well at the box office. No. It was like a flop, and a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, the special effects are like really, really corny." But it's. Listen, there's people out there who they love it. Yeah. It's a cult classic.
It has its place.
Exactly. And I can't believe it's been 30 years.
Yeah, 1988. 30 years, man.
Flipping heck.
Oh, wow. Willow. I think there was even a computer game of Willow.
There was.
Or something like that I remember playing. But it's one of those films that, I mean, watching it now, it might not have the same effects if people don't know about it. But at the time, it was a magical film, you know. It just had that... it just brought you in. As a kid, you love seeing all those characters and creatures and...
Like, it's fantasy, pure fantasy.
Yeah.
And back in the 80s, this is... Like, nowadays, like, what... People are spoiled.
Yeah.
Like, 30 years ago, this is basically what you had.
Yeah. That's
films like this and like Legend and Tron and
what was the one with
Labyrinth?
Labyrinth, with
David Bowie.
Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly. That was Oh
wow,
great! Yeah. You know what? Great films to vow on the anniversary corner.
Anniversary corner, right there for you,
ladies and gents. If you got any film that you want us to review or have a look at for anniversary corner, let us know. Like on this Twitter page, on the Facebook page. Just email us. Let us know. You know what? Send us a letter. You can't, can you? Because you don't know our address. Okay. No, just drop us an email.
An electronic letter.
Exactly. All right. So now let's move on to film reviews. And I know you wanna tell us about Incredibles.
Incredibles.
Yes.
Dos. Yeah. So
tell us
Incredibles 2. So I got a confession to make. First of all,
I haven't seen Incredibles, the first one.
I had to see it on the same day. I saw Incredibles 1, then I went to go see Incredibles 2, like within like 6 hours, same day.
Wow.
So for me, it was like literally one big film.
Yeah.
And I went to the cinema to see Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
The cinema was packed.
Okay.
Families galore.
Kids,
families. And even before the film starts, they show you there's a short film, animation as well, about 10 minutes long.
Okay.
Which is good as well.
Oh,
about
wow.
this a family in China, about this the generational gap and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's quite a good film actually. Like a little
Nice.
10-minute film. Even after that finished, the crowd clapped.
Wow.
After that finished, They didn't clap after Incredibles 2 finished. It's funny. It's a weird one, but Incredibles 2. So the story kicks off with I think the mother, what's her name again? Mrs. Stretch or Mrs. Elastic. I can't remember her name now.
Yeah.
I only saw it a few days ago.
Yeah.
She is like the breadwinner. She goes to work in another part of the country, and I think does she go to Japan actually? I think she leaves the country and she goes to work somewhere else to do her role and sort of bring back the superhero vibe, if I can say, because people in part one, superheroes are outlawed.
Okay.
And they weren't allowed to use their powers and stuff like that. So she's like doing her superhero thing. She helps to stop a train that's going a bit, off track, if I can say.
Nice one.
You know, but yeah, I mean, she's a breadwinner. She goes out and does her thing, uses her powers, and she feels really inspired and empowered by it. As, you know, she's the one doing it now.
Yeah.
And the dad, he's at home with the kids.
Okay, so
this film picks up quite soon after Incredibles 1 because the baby, Jack, is still a baby.
Okay.
So even though it's 14 years in reality, the first one was 2004.
Oh my,
Yeah,
you
2004,
are kidding me.
mate. Yeah, this is 2018. 14 years it's taken for this one to come out.
I wonder why that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, so.
Is it still the same voices? Like Will Smith?
Yeah. No Will Smith. No, it's that's a funny enough. The actors that do the voices, I didn't really recognize many of their names.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, Samuel L. Jackson's in it.
What isn't Samuel L. Jackson in?
I know. He's all over the place, but yeah. So the dad's really struggling. It's funny because he's got superpowers. He's got super strength and stuff, and he struggles to really do the home jobs, the home chores. Clean the house, look after the baby, feed the kids, help them with their homework. He really struggled with the kids' homework, and I guess it gave him a greater respect for the mum, for what she used to do, because back in the day she used to do that and do superhero stuff.
Okay.
He used to go to work and do superhero stuff on the side, and the mum would have to look after the kids and also sort of do superhero stuff as well. But yeah, it's just, I mean, a lot of what the dad's doing, just he's in the home a lot.
Yeah.
But the villains, okay, so when the mum goes to do her job, she's got like a team that help her with, like, someone on the computer always. You always get a computer person telling you the information and stuff, and she's got like a little team, and one of the people on her team, I can't really spoil it too much, but someone on her team goes against her. And this person on her team, she believes that the world is like, and I'm kind of with her on this.
Okay.
She believes the world is like people are disconnected from like reality and stuff like that. People love they love their tablets too much. They love technology, social media and stuff like that.
Totally.
So she uses those things against society. Yeah. So she takes over TV screens and stuff like that, and she uses technology to, I guess, fight the system and stuff. And she uses technology to hypnotize people. So she uses regular people to commit crimes for her.
Okay.
So she's taken control.
So she's turned into the villain type.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we don't know it's her for quite a while.
Okay.
And so we just see random people committing crimes, and they arrest them, but really and truly they're actually innocent. So they're being controlled by this other person, who's just, she's going against the system basically.
Yeah.
And some of what she's, her reasons for it, I kind of relate to.
Believable,
like, it's kind of true.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's wrong in what she's doing.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, I actually think the Incredibles 1 was better.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think Incredibles 1 was better. Obviously, I mean, the villains, they get foiled. The whole family. I mean, some of the, I guess, things to take away from this is family. Incredibles is a family.
Right.
The mum, the dad, Jack, the baby. They've got the daughter.
Yeah.
And the young boy, he's quite fast. The daughter she's a bit like Sue Storm.
Okay.
She can turn invisible and she can use force fields and stuff like that. So, it gets to a stage where the mum can't handle this villain alone.
Yeah.
And she has to enlist the help of the whole family.
Right.
So they start to team up, they coordinate themselves. She actually accepts that the kids need to help, because before that, the kids were not allowed to use their powers anywhere.
Oh.
They couldn't use their powers. So even the boy, he's quite fast in school athletics and stuff like that. He's not allowed to use his powers.
No.
So when he's running, they're like, oh no, slow down. And stuff like that, But yeah, they all gather together. They all use their powers. They team up. The mum realizes the kids are growing up. She's got to let them grow up, sort of thing.
Let them loose a bit.
Exactly. She lets her daughter go on a date with a boy. But yeah, so she realizes, oh, my kids are actually not bad. They, if they use their powers right, they can help and stuff like that. So towards the end of the film, she allows them to use their powers, and they sort of defeat the villain, which is this person who also teams up with the villain, not even a villain actually, but in the, was it the first part? I remember was it the first part of the Incredibles 1. There was a character, quite an obscure character, who tried to help Mr. Fantastic. He was kind of like a kid, like a kid that got in the way. He had no powers or anything, but he shows up in part 2 as well for a bit, and he takes over these big, like, not creatures, but I guess they're like machines that are like creatures.
Yeah.
Like in cartoons you get these big monsters and stuff that try and take over the whole city.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that they need to try and take down together, and they coordinate themselves. It's a bit like how the Avengers like got to a stage where, okay, let's do this, and Captain calls the shots, you do this, you do that, blah blah blah, and they save the day basically.
They save the day, yeah.
And it makes the world, realize like superheroes are now back in force,
and we need them.
Exactly. So it's a bit like in Civil War, the
Sokovia Accords.
So it's like they sort of ripped it up and say, okay, superheroes are allowed, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson helps out a lot as well. He's like Iceman.
Oh right, okay.
He's like Bobby Drake. He's like literally has like ice. He skates around on ice and stuff like that. And as long as he's got moisture, he can turn anything into ice. So he's there. He helps out a lot. But yeah, it's a fun film.
Okay, I was going to say, like,
it's a fun film.
Like, did you laugh? Is it funny?
No. No, the humor for me wasn't. Kids liked it, but for me, the humor wasn't really adult.
Okay,
not a lot that I really got. I didn't laugh at all.
Yeah,
no lie, I didn't laugh. But I did enjoy the first one more. But the second.
So what? The first one was funnier, or
I don't know. I just think it was more. It's more of a complete film. It just had more about it, sort of thing. The first one. Second one, for me, like I said, it was a good film, but I don't think it was better.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It wasn't better. A bit like how I felt about Sicario. Good film, but not better. But not shit.
Right, okay.
So I liked it, and I can see why it's doing well. Incredibles was the first one, was such a hit. It's been 14 years, and a lot of the kids that saw it then, probably adults now.
Like, I'm just looking at these figures, it's like almost 10 million in a
1
week.
Exactly. So imagine if it's been out for 4 weeks. It will slightly do a bit less each week, but it may even do more than Jurassic Park, like them 38 million. So
this
in 1 week, that's quite a lot. And that's the UK. Imagine what America's doing.
10 mil in a week.
Yeah, it's good.
It's mad.
Yeah.
So obviously it's going to tear shit up in the box office.
I reckon it will. And now kids are going to be actually on school holidays now.
So more people are going to watch it now.
Okay. Jurassic Park and Incredibles are going to still be around for a while.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Wow. Okay, so you'd say it's not as good as the first one, but it's incomparable to kind of other Pixar films that you've seen. Is it probably at the lower end?
Well, see, I have to really look at that statement. Pixar films I've seen. You see, I'm not really a Pixar kind of guy.
I must
say this is the first Pixar I've seen in the cinema.
Okay, well, good.
And this is I can count them one hand how many Pixars I've seen.
Yeah,
I even seen Toy Story.
Yeah,
you're gonna shoot me down for that, but I ain't seen Toy Story. I haven't seen.
Not really, because you know what? I came to the Toy Story party super late.
Oh yeah,
super late, and I'm not like singing from the rooftops with this sort of stuff. But there is one Pixar film, so I'm not like huge fan of Toy Story and stuff like that. Up.
Yeah, I've seen Up. I was told to watch it and I watched it. That's good. Yeah. How did I know you was gonna say that? How did I?
Well, I mean, this is, you're talking to a flickster here.
I don't know why. I knew you were gonna say Up. I knew it. I could just see Up in your eyes,
bro. I mean, so out of all those animation films, that is probably like for me the high point.
Yeah, that's a good one actually. Yeah.
So whenever I ask people, I always just say, "Is it better than Up?"
Okay. No.
Is it better than Up?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. There's my answer. So ladies and gents, it's not better than Up, but it's there. Yeah. It's there. Yeah. Okay.
So how many? I don't even know how to categorize this one. How many? How many punches would I give it?
Okay. How many?
I'll give it 6.
6 punches.
Yeah,
okay.
6 punches. 6. Healthy 6.
Healthy 6. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's interesting. Folks, if you agree, disagree with what we say, let us know in the comments. So, you know what? Here's your chance to kind of like tell us whether or not we're talking shit, whether or not we're saying the right stuff, whether or not you want us to,
shut up.
Yeah, basically. As long as you get in touch, that's as long as we get. Okay, so look, the film that I want to speak about, I'm not going to spend too long on this one. Right. So the film is The Secret of the Marrowbone. Secret of Marrowbone. Like, okay, I don't know. So I saw the trailer for this when I was watching another film, and I thought, oh fuck, I have to watch this film because it looks creepy. It's got those jumpy moments. It's got like a creepy mirror looking into the mirror. It's got someone with a white covered in white type of thing.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, this is going to be like really, really good. I didn't read anything up on it because I didn't want to spoil like things. I went in and watched the film, and it starts off like, yeah, creepy, you know, a family moving into a new house. You know, the faces look like really scared. There's really gaunt. They're running away from something. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell are they running away from? I'm like kind of like really intrigued about this. The mum, she passes away in the film. And then this whole big creepy house is left to 3 kids.
Yeah.
And they just basically got to wait until a point in their life where, like, I think one of the kids has to turn 21 years old.
Yeah, or something like that, yeah.
And then he can legally kind of like look after the other kids, right? Okay, so far so good. And slowly, right, you know, the film starts revealing itself. So you got characters, you got the eldest son he's kind of like a bit nervous and he's a bit scared, and you know, he's protecting the family, which I get. You know, his mum said to him, look, you got to protect the family. And it progresses, and I'm waiting for the scary moment to start coming along, and I'm waiting 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 and I'm waiting, and I'm like, oh my,
I don't want to wait for this film to be over.
Fucking hell. Oh my God, Deval. Listen, if there's one film that I've been disappointed with the most this year, it's The Secret of Marrowbone.
Are you serious, yeah?
Listen, what film this year has been like, come on, you tell me, what have you seen that's been like as bigger letdown than this? Compared to the trailer.
Yeah, I see, I'm struggling to think. I need to...
I'm like, listen, there's no scary bits in there. There's this thing like in the background, like, is there or isn't there something in the attic?
Yeah.
All right. And when that big reveal happens, I was so pissed off. I was so like, what the hell? Like, come on, man. You can do better than this.
And it's got good actors in it. It's got Anya Taylor-Joy again from Split.
And like you said, she's blowing shit up. She's gonna be like huge.
And the guy from Stranger Things, isn't it?
This guy from Stranger Things. I don't know. Is he British? I don't know.
I think he is. Yeah, he's British. I believe. Yeah, he's British. Yeah.
So, I mean, like, you know, he's weird. He's weird in Stranger Things, and in this thing, he's even more constipated. Like, you know. But I get that it's growing pains. Like, you know, he's the role that he's been given. He's got to make do with what he's been given. Right. Okay. The guy, the main character, he was in 23-11-66.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. And he was great in that.
Okay.
So when I saw him in this, I thought, oh, you know what? This guy is good. He's really good. Like, you know, he's going to bring something new to it. There's going to be something strange. There's going to be something that I haven't seen before.
Yeah. This film, I don't know if you noticed as well, it's all Spanish production crew.
I noticed
at the start of the film, the credits are in Spanish. And at first, because I must confess, I saw this film months ago.
Yeah, you did.
I have special privileges and it allows me to see films well in advance. So actually, I should have warned you about this film, but I saw this film months ago. The release date's been pushed back. Even the name has been changed.
Now, why is that?
I'm not sure. Maybe to make it sound, maybe because, you know, when someone says "Secrets of" or this, when the title's got a bit more foreshadowing in it, it gets people to want to watch it. What's the secret? Oh, what's going on? So I think they pushed it back for whatever reason. I'm not sure if it's to do with other films that they had to compete with, change the title. It just this film should have been out last year. This film was made ages ago. But yeah, I mean, for me, the good thing about this film that I liked was the boy you mentioned that was in 21-11-63.
Yeah,
there was I don't know if you noticed, but he was dressed in, for quite a big part of the film. He was dressed in the same clothes that Captain America was dressed in Avengers 1.
Oh,
when Captain America in Avengers 1, before he becomes like fully Captain America and so on, he's, you know, going around on the ship and stuff like that. He wears this yellow checkered shirt, these brown trousers,
right,
and like a jacket.
Yeah.
And when I saw this film, I paused it. I went to Avengers, got what Captain America was wearing, and it was identical.
Oh
And
shit!
from what I've heard is that the makers liked Avengers and Marvel and stuff, and because the time that the film was made, I think in a similar time period,
Yeah.
the costume could reflect that as well.
Right. Okay.
And also the boy that was this character is blonde as well, like Captain America. He was literally dressed the same as Captain America. And when I saw that, I was watching thinking, this guy reminds me of someone. And because I'm Marvel mad,
Yeah.
it just clicked. And it's
He
weird
looks like
how
Captain America.
Yeah, literally, he was dressed as Captain America. It's so crazy.
Right. Okay. So that's one of the good things that you got from this.
The only good thing, sorry.
Yeah, I didn't get that. All I
Okay.
got from this was contempt. Like seriously, I was huffing and puffing in the
my
showing.
gosh.
Like I was like, right, okay, come on. You now sold a trailer to me, and you know what? I think it comes down to the reason why it was delayed is because when they must have done some advanced screenings on this,
Yeah.
they must have realized that look, we're gonna have to make something out of this, and
Yeah.
the film that they wanted to make, that probably never happened.
Yeah. That happens a lot, you know.
Happens loads of times on loads of films where they show like a screening to people,
Yeah.
and they don't get the reaction that they want, and then they just basically got to go back and they got to
Exactly,
reshoot
yeah.
it. So I think that's what's happened with this film. But all I got is just Deval's just like showing me the thing.
That's
Yeah,
exactly how he was dressed.
that's exactly how he's just so
Crazy.
so they just try to get like Captain America.
Yeah. They tried it.
And
It's no
failed.
secret because we knew.
There's the secret of the marrowbone. So if, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a film that will give you chills, will give you creeps, that will give you, a sense of kind of fear, you won't get that from this film.
No.
If you're looking for a film which is about kind of loss and about dealing with how you deal with a tragedy, then you will get that from this
Yeah.
movie. However, my gripe is this to the filmmakers, and I'm no filmmaker. I wish I was a filmmaker. But if you're going to put a trailer out there for a film, then be that film.
You got to back it up. Good cast as well. They're good actors.
Brilliant. Like I said before, like him from 231163, he was brilliant. Stranger Things guy, he's really good. Like, give us what you said that you were going to give us. So that's
a
my
letdown.
thing. So it was a letdown. So I'm quite annoyed
Yeah.
about that one, Deval.
I can tell from your eyes.
Yeah. So that's it from me this week. And like I said before, I didn't have a lot of time. So I wanted to kind of go out and watch film. And then when I saw that, I thought, oh yeah, this is going to be really great. So I was like, shit, I wasted whereas I could have watched Whitney.
Yeah. You would have enjoyed that more. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's move on now to Hidden Gems. So tell us what you've got for us.
Yeah, as I said, it's been quite hot these days. I've had to do a lot of manual watering of my my gems garden, and I was able to grow a bit more gems for this week. So I was able to pluck a few gems for the show today, and what I've plucked, the first one is Unsane.
Okay, tell us about this.
Opposite to Insane. So the title alone really throws you off because when you're insane, it's like you're in madness. When you're unsane, doesn't mean you're out of. Who knows what he means? But
Yeah.
Steven Soderbergh.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I know which one this is. This is the one where he filmed on an iPhone.
iPhone 7.
iPhone 7.
You knew, of course you knew. Yes.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't see it.
This film, do you know what? This film is really good. Rotten Tomato. It really rates it quite highly.
Yeah.
It didn't do well in the box office because it came out during Avengers Infinity War and stuff like that. But this film, people that I know have seen it, they say this film is really good. Claire Foy stars in this film, along with other actors that... Matt Damon makes an appearance.
What?
Soderbergh.
Oh, that's
Hey, Matt, what are you doing next weekend? Fancy being in my film? Sure. That's it. They go back.
And that's the Ocean's Connection.
Yeah, exactly. This film's about a lady who she, when the film starts, she's already sort of coming to terms and dealing with someone who used to stalk her, and that's been sort of dealt with. The person, I believe, was given a restraining order of some sort, something like that. But she's still feeling the effects. She's still, I guess she's still scared and she's still feeling the trauma from that experience. So she's always quite vigilant in the way she goes on, and the filming of this, the way they film this and the way they film it and make you feel like her is really good. So I didn't know it was filmed on an iPhone before I saw it. I had no idea. I just thought they were using different filming techniques.
Oh.
So sometimes it goes out of focus. Sometimes the camera will be like in a place that a voyeur would be in. So you're literally looking at you're watching the scene through someone who could be around the corner. So it's like already you're in the I guess the voyeur's eyes, and
Right.
it's also making you think like who's watching her.
Sure.
And she's always looking around her shoulder and stuff like that. So you're unsettled in this film throughout, just through the visual, technique. And she, as an actress, does really, really well. She convinced me that I wasn't sure, because I don't want to spoil it too much because you guys got to see this. But she doesn't. You don't know if she's crazy or not, basically.
Right.
So Unsane. Okay. I mean, does she start off insane and go unsane, or does she start off unsane and go insane? It's really hard to tell.
Wow.
She plays that line really well.
Yeah.
And things happen to her because she starts to exhibit the symptoms of someone that is crazy. But we know, or I thought I knew that she wasn't crazy.
Right.
But then there's moments where I think, shit, is she crazy? Because she's saying she's seeing things and she's not. But then the way they really show it, and the way they depict her unraveling of her mind is really, really well. Not just in her acting, but the camera.
Okay.
The way they shoot things is really, really good.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's different. It's really different.
So my ears pricked up when I heard about this. Number one, it's directed by Steven Soderbergh, Oceans, all those films.
Did he do the Social Network, or was that David Fincher? I always get
Fincher.
I always get them two mixed up.
But remember Out of Sight?
Yeah.
George Clooney and
Jennifer Lopez was it?
Jennifer Lopez. Yeah. I love that movie. I mean, listen, I got a lot of time for Steven Soderbergh films, so I'll watch his stuff. Yeah. What was the one with Benicio del Toro? He won the Oscar.
The Oscar, yeah.
The drugs one.
Oh, no, I was going to say Blow, but it's not Blow. Drugs one. Hold on. I can't remember the name.
And it's got Michael Douglas in it.
Yeah. Oh, damn. It'll come to me. Yeah.
This guy makes great films. And the thing is with Steven Soderbergh, I'm not sure if you knew this, but a few years ago he said, right, okay, I'm not making... He said that he was going to quit.
Yeah.
And then he kept coming back with making films. Like he did this one with... what was that? She's an MMA fighter. Oh,
yes. I've seen that with not Ronda Rousey. What's her name? The woman with the dark hair.
She was in Deadpool.
Yeah. Yes. That film was really good. I saw that film. It was really good.
Fucking wicked. It was like a B. And when
she was like a Jason Bourne type character.
Yeah. And when I say B movie, I don't say this in a. No,
it was good. It was a really good film. Really good film.
Yeah. So it harks back to those B movie films where it's like action. It's kind of like espionage type of thing. Haywire. That was it.
It was a really good film.
Really good film.
Underrated film. That was her first movie role.
It was, wasn't it?
And she done really good.
Fassbender was in it.
Yeah, Fassbender was in it. I think it was Matt Damon in it. I can't remember.
Possibly. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No, it wasn't Matt Damon. It was Magic Mike. He was in it. Channing Tatum was in it.
Yeah, and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. Really good film, Really good film. 2011 that came out.
So when
Contagion done as well.
He did that one, which was really good. So he's done these films, and then I was like, okay, why do you want to quit? Because you're making really, really good films. And then obviously between Contagion and this one, there's been about 4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah.
So when I had read about this being filmed on the iPhone, I was like, oh my God, I got to watch this film, But then, like you said, Infinity War came out and then it just mothballed everything. So my question to you is this. By the end of the film, does the audience... Number one, was she being stalked? And number two, is she crazy? What do you think?
Yes and yes.
Oh.
I think if someone's stalking you, because she was getting stalked, she was right.
Yeah.
But if no one believes you, it can get you crazy just from anger and from, people not believing you and you think it's true.
Yeah.
So you can exhibit crazy behavior, but you feel you're justified in that behavior. But if I see it from the outside, I'm like, what's wrong with this person? What's wrong with you? No one's there. There's even a moment in the film where she's in this place that she shouldn't be. And she sees the face of the person that was stalking her.
Right.
So she looks up, sees the face, she blinks and the face changes to someone else. And I thought, shit, what was that about? Did she see the person or was it in her mind? You don't know.
Yeah.
You do not know. It's revealed afterwards, but at that moment, that's when I thought, oh no, she's crazy.
Right. Okay.
I thought, oh, she is
And,
crazy.
okay, I haven't seen the film, but is the stalker Matt Damon?
No, he's not. No.
Okay.
No.
Because that would have been pretty cool.
No. Matt Damon plays
Doctor.
Yeah, he's in it for just a brief moment, but he plays
Yeah.
like a doctor. He sort of visits her and stuff, and
Okay.
yeah, it's a really good film.
All right,
Really good
okay.
film.
And you know what I want to do is that'll move me on to the film that I chose for a hidden gem, which is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Now, this film was made in 1975, and
Jack Nicholson, yeah.
Jack Nicholson, and it's similar in the sense that it's set in a mental institute.
Yeah, yeah.
And Jack Nicholson's character, he gets sent there
Yeah.
because to get off a sentence, he says to the judge and to the courts, like, look, I'm crazy, put me in a mental institute. And so the Unsane thing, what I want to kind of ask you is do they talk about kind of mental issues and whether or not it's a thing in society, or like, is there a message behind it?
Not in a societal context, if that's a word, but yeah, there are discussions on her mental state,
Right.
and on how it's gotten to that stage and so on, and if it's actually, you know, real, and you know, the medication about making her feel better and stuff. So yeah, it is explored, but not in a
Okay.
wider context, just mainly on her.
Okay. Well, this film.
Actually, no, tell a lie. There was a part where someone in the film actually says that some of the medical companies and institutions, they push people to think that they're crazy so that they can sell medication to the government and have people locked up, so that they've always got people to administer medicine to,
So that they
make
can
money.
sell the drugs.
Yeah, so there is that conversation in the
Okay.
film. Yeah.
Well, this 1975 film, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, there is a message behind it, and it's about kind of, you know, the treatment of mental patients, and you know what we think of them like in society. And I want to kind of add this into the hidden gem. So for people who haven't seen this film, it is directed by, I think it was Milos Forman, 1975. It's only one of 3 films which has ever won the 5 major categories of the Academy. So best film, best director, best actor, best supporting actress, like you name it. There's only 2 other films that have done that. One from 1934 and Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
So it's kind of like in this elite type of films. And I want to kind of like bring this film up because you could may possibly watch it as a double bill with Unsane.
Yeah.
So where, you know, you've got this person, isn't she crazy? That's up for debate. And then you've got, you know, Jack Nicholson's character who's not crazy, but then who through his treatment in the film, you could say he does become crazy. And like, you know, you've got these kind of characters in the movie and how he interacts with them. And I thought it'd be really interesting just to kind of for our listeners to go back and watch this film if they haven't done so, because it was made in 1975, and there was this whole thing going on in the 60s and 70s about the treatment of mental patients and about in hospitals how they were treating them, and it was that electric. God, I don't know what the actual term is, but it was
they have those electric rods on their temple or something, isn't it? Yeah.
And basically like lobotomizing people.
Yeah.
So there's this kind of like big thing going on, like, you know, in the 60s and 70s, and it's based on a book. And I just wanted to kind of, you know, bring this up because it is a really great film. Jack Nicholson, he's brash. He's kind of like got the attitude. And then you've got kind of like this, the nurse, she plays like, I don't know, like the oppressor.
Okay.
So she's like, look, you obey to my rules. And Jack's like, no, what are you talking about? I'm going to kind of like, you know, I've got my own rules in this place. And like, you know, month by month or day by day, whatever, she breaks him down to the point where Jack becomes just like
serious,
like
gosh.
basically like crazy. And I tell you what, man, when you watch that film, it is brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant.
Wow.
It's one of those films where you're shocked, you're happy, you're sad about it, because you know you get to see what people are like, you know, how they portray like mental illness.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s, and what it was really like, and the treatment that some of these people get, and about, you know, the drugs, about taking kind of like the medicine, and about the electric shock treatment. I just think it'd be kind of like really good if people can watch Unsane and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest at the same time. So that was from 1975, that one.
Wow.
What else have we got?
Yeah, we have Beast of No Nation, which 2015, starring Idris Elba.
Still haven't seen this.
Yeah, it's a good film. It's still on Netflix at the moment.
Is it?
But it's quite an independent film. He stars like a a warlord. In I believe it's in Ghana.
Oh,
Where actually I'm from.
yeah.
So some of the sort of subtitles and stuff, I could actually understand some of the language.
Wicked, yeah.
Not all, but some of it, because the dialect isn't fully what I
Yeah.
understand. But
in real life, Idris Elba, he's not from
he's
Ghana.
not from Ghana.
Okay.
I believe he's from. I believe he's from Sierra Leone or somewhere.
okay.
I think, yeah, but he's not from Ghana. I don't think. No, he speaks English throughout the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's about the kids. Like, you know, in some of these countries around the world, you have these warlords who, they have they're having their conflicts in different regions and so on, and a lot of the times they get these kids who are sometimes orphans, have no other choice, have no other sort of life. They put a gun in their hand and say, yeah, we're going to train you and you got to kill people and stuff. And it's a really, this film was really, really depressing, really hard hitting. You see these kids killing people, and not just shooting, but with machetes and so on. And there's a couple of points in the film where Idris Elba's character would tell one of these kids, and when I say kids, they're like 10 years old, 9 years old, 8 years old.
Shit.
He puts a machete in one of their hands and says, kill this man. And this man, I think he's already been shot somewhere, but he's still alive. He's begging for his life. And he says, kill him. Kill him. And obviously he's got to do it, otherwise what's going to happen to him?
He's going to die.
Exactly. So he sort of looks at the guy for like a few seconds, and you think he's going to not do it. And all of a sudden he gets the machete and whacks the guy in the head about 3, 4, 5 times. Just whacks him in the head. And I think he's reliving the hurt he's gone through. And he uses that to block out his emotional connection to humanity and just kills this guy. After he kills him, he looks at him. He's just looking at his head all chopped up. And they all celebrate around him. It's a crazy scene.
Shit.
But there's many scenes like that where they go to these villages and start shooting random people. That's how he got into this.
Yeah.
They came to his village and they shut up his family. They were running for their lives. He got caught and they trained him. And throughout the film, you see him grow up. He's fighting with his sort of brothers that he's come to know. A few die and stuff like that. And it gets towards the end of the film where, I don't want to spoil it too much for guys that haven't seen it, but you see the journey he's come from, where he's been a regular kid, working as you do, or going to school, playing football, to having a gun, killing people. And there's a point in the film where he has to then go back to being a kid. He can't do it. He literally can't do it. Like he struggles to be with kids again. It's so touching. It's really, really, really. Yeah,
there was a lot of hype around this.
Yeah.
And it was a Netflix exclusive, wasn't it?
I believe so. Yeah, I don't remember being in the cinema, but it's one of those films you have to see. But just know that it's going to touch you. It's going to make you feel really sorry for kids in this world that have to go through anything like that.
And they touch upon something similar like that they did it in Blood Diamond.
Okay. Yeah.
And Jimon Hunsu's character, he had his son. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He gets separated and they put a gun in his hand and stuff like that. So I mean, crazy. And what makes it even more crazy or shocking is the fact that this is based on real stuff. This happens.
Yeah. You hear about this.
You hear about it. It's horrible. Okay, yeah. So definitely one to check out. Definitely. That one.
The other one I've got here on the Hidden Gems is The Nightmare.
Okay, tell us about this one.
The Nightmare 2015. It's actually a documentary, The Nightmare.
Okay.
I watched this one randomly a couple of years ago, and I thought it was a film when I first saw it, but when I heard about it, but it's a documentary talking to these select people that have really vivid and crazy nightmares, dreams, and they all explain the dreams they have. Some of these dreams are like, it's more than just a dream. It's like they have physical experiences. Some of them are paralyzed. Some of them have reoccurring dreams of like demons and things like that.
Shit.
And the way they explain these nightmares, it really shits you up.
Like what?
Like some of them talk about how they're chased by a demon every night. Another one explains how they have a dream and they're physically paralyzed. They feel like something is holding their body, and their eyes are open and they cannot move.
Holy
and they
shit.
feel like their body's being sort of forcibly held down by something. And it's like these people are terrified. A lot of these people are insomniacs. Is that what they're called when they don't get much sleep?
Yeah, insomniacs
Yeah,
can't
and
sleep.
it's like their lives are ruined. Like there's no good dreams here. There's no like, you know, babes at night coming to, you know, whatever. Nah.
No wet dreams there then.
No. The only wet is the sweat that you know that they perspire in their dreams. I mean, some of these people, they are literally, it's one of the worst experiences because I've done a bit of studying about sleeping and dreaming and stuff like that, and you have the REM,
rapid eye movement,
exactly, and you have the deep sleep phase, and you're every night you go through these phases. You don't often remember your dreams. A lot of the times you don't.
I don't.
And these people, they remember these vividly disgusting dreams. Some of them dream that they're being abducted by aliens and stuff like that, and they will explain the abduction and how they felt and what they felt they were going through in these aliens' description. And one of them thought an owl was an alien, and they saw this owl every night from their window in their dream. It's crazy, but yeah, I mean, and all these interviews are done in like these dark rooms in their houses.
Okay.
So it just lends to the fright.
Wow.
Like I said before, when you're sleeping, your mind, I feel anyway, that your mind is probably at its most powerful stage, because think about the power that the mind has over the body. If it's got enough power, like you mentioned, wet dreams. Yeah. That is literally, like, think about how powerful your mind's got to be to simulate a sexual experience when you're just laying there.
I know.
And
and you're not physically active. You're just lying down in bed.
But it does that enough that it makes you think you're doing it.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had that ability on tap, where you could make your body believe anything was happening. You could do what you want. You could for example, just start sweating just by itself.
Yeah.
That's your body's got the ability to do that.
Yeah.
But we just can't. We haven't got the ability to make it happen.
Sure.
And a lot of them, when you're in your dreams and you're scared, your heartbeat races or slows down or whatever it may be. I mean, the mind controls your body in such a way that when we're awake, I think we've just dampened the ability of the mind.
I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be some sort of like medical element to this documentary as well. And what do the experts say about this stuff?
Sleep therapists, they talk about the mind and how maybe people's past or their experiences when they were younger, or even during work stress and things like that. Some of them talk about maybe this is the reason why they're having these dreams, if they're using substance misuse or abuse, I should say, or anything like that. And some of these people are not in that phase, in that, you know, they don't use drink or drugs, they don't have any major trauma from their past, but they're still having these dreams.
Right.
And some of these can't be explained. Some of them maybe can, because some people, you know, they invite these things into their mind, and maybe they watch too many horror films or something, and they go to bed, which sometimes I do. But yeah, so some of these experts kind of explain what these nightmares, why they come, but all they're trying to do is control and try and, use their skills and experience to try and get these people to, manage their dreams or nightmares, you know, because otherwise they're going to go crazy. Yeah.
Because I know that there's a lot of people out there who have active imaginations. So if they see something or they witness something during the day and then it stays with them. Yeah. And like what you said about films, because I know of people where if they've seen like a horror film, it plays in their mind, and then they have like, you know, bad dreams about that sort of stuff. But you know, my theory is this, that with dreams, there's a lot of symbolism in dreams. So if, say, for example, you are walking down the street and I don't know, you get into a fight, for example, in your dream. Yeah. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen in real life, but there's something about that which has manifested itself and it's just portrayed in your dream in that sort of way. So, you know, they're not always kind of like literally what you see in the dream is literally what it means. You're gonna, like if you die in a dream, you're going to die. Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I know what you mean. But yeah, it's just the way they describe it. It's quite scary.
No. And it is scary, actually. That's your brain. That's exactly. Like, and you got no control.
We sleep a third of our lives, or that's what they say. Probably less now. People get less sleep, but a lot of our lives we're sleeping. And, you know, if this is what they're experiencing in those times and you're supposed to be at peace,
Fuck
he
that,
wants to
man.
be he
Who
wants
wants
to
to
be
sleep?
awake. Well, who wants to sleep? So yeah, you want to stay awake, but that's like entering Freddy Krueger, territory.
Exactly.
Phew, so
Wow.
yeah, so watch The Nightmare 2015.
Sounds like a nightmare. Okay, so the last film that I want to bring to the show is a 2016 film called Colossal.
Is that Michael Fassbender?
No. So Colossal, starring Anne Hathaway, Dan Stevens. Do you remember Dan Stevens from
from
Legion?
Legion, yeah, and The Guest.
And The Guest,
Yeah.
which is a cracking film.
Yeah.
Dan
And
Stevens.
also he was in sorry to interrupt you.
Go on.
He's in the British sort of old school show.
The Crown. No,
Not The
no,
Crown,
no.
the
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey. Sorry,
I've not seen it.
Neither have I.
I think he became really popular on that.
Yeah.
And then he went to Hollywood.
Yeah.
And then he's getting a lot of work
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So 2060 film starring Anne Hathaway. Oh, and Mike, is it Mike or Jason Sudeikis?
Oh, him. Yeah. I know him. Yeah.
He's a comedy actor.
Yeah. He's like in the sort of Paul Rudd kind of zone, isn't he?
Meet the Millers.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Horrible Bosses.
Yeah.
So that guy. And this film, I think is directed by a French person, completely under the radar, but it is so out there, so kind of like you wouldn't even think to yourself, okay, Anne Hathaway is making a film which has got giant monsters in it.
Oh, yeah?
By the look of your face, okay, let me tell you about it. So imagine, Duval, if you had the ability to control Godzilla,
What?
what would you do?
Oh, my gosh, what wouldn't I do?
So imagine if you're in England,
Yeah.
right? You're walking down the street and you were then able to somehow control Godzilla,
Gotcha.
which is
Okay, I'll get him to go down to Westminster and I'll get a big boom box and play If I Could Turn Back Time, and I'll get Godzilla to turn the clock back on Big Ben and have the music playing in the background and Godzilla
Okay.
going as well. That would be a wicked little YouTube video.
So basically, right, let me set this up for you. So Anne Hathaway, she's an alcoholic. She is not in a great place with her boyfriend, who's played by Dan Stevens. Stevens says to her, listen, look, you got to stop your shit. You got to stop drinking. You need to just get out of the house. So he kicks her out. The only place that she can go back to is her hometown. And she goes back to her hometown. She goes back to her old house, which is unfurnished. She's still an alcoholic, but she bumps into a couple of her friends from high school, which played by Jason Sudeikis. I hope that's how you pronounce his name. Jason, he owns a bar, okay? And, he kind of says to her, look, you're back in town again. Why don't you work for me at the bar? And she's like, what, really? No, I better not. No, I shouldn't. But she does anyway. So, alcoholic working behind a bar. Every night after her shift's finished, she's always drinking with the friends and stuff. She's having a great time, and she realizes that, you know what? I actually like this place, and yeah, even though my boyfriend's in New York, I still maybe could possibly live in this small little town in the middle of nowhere. So one night, after a night of being on the piss up, she walks her way home, and she walks into a playground. Unbeknownst to her, so she doesn't know this is going on. 5,000 miles away in Seoul, a Godzilla type monster appears out of nowhere.
Oh, I think I've heard of this film. Yes.
Duval, it is the strangest and the craziest film premise that you'll ever hear. And this is Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
Imagine, she's done Batman. She's done kind of she's huge. She's like a huge star.
Ocean's 8 as well. She was in
Ocean's 8 as well. So, at a particular time, in a particular place, whenever Anne Hathaway walks into this area, this Godzilla or this monster thing starts appearing. And she doesn't know it. She starts destroying shit up in Seoul. People are scared. It's all over the news. And as the film progresses, she puts two and two together that somehow she's connected to this monster.
How would you even begin to connect that?
Yeah, right. Okay. So what happens to Sudeikis? He secretly fancies her. He likes her.
Okay.
And he wants to be with her. He wants her to stay in that same town, working for her. And she's kind of got the hots for someone else, and she almost starts shagging someone else. And Michael, he starts getting abusive. He starts getting, let's just say, like a stalkery. And he starts getting physical with her.
Let's get physical, physical.
And we don't know why and we don't know how, but whenever Michael, or I keep saying Jason, Michael Sudeikis, whatever, if he steps in that same spot, another monster appears. This is absolutely crazy. So 2 people in some small town in America can control 2 big monsters out in Seoul, Korea. It is the craziest, but I tell you what, it's crazy but wonderful movie, which you have to watch. If you like your Gojiras, you're definitely going to love this one. So what happens at the end, I'm not going to spoil it for you. However, they hate each other. By the end of it, and these 2 monsters, they got to fight each other, but they've got to fight each other in America. And you know, the shit goes down. Gosh. So if you like your crazy, if you like your weird, and you like your like, where is this film taking me? Then definitely watch this film. If you are looking for an Anne Hathaway film, and what are Anne Hathaway films? You might think, oh, they're romantic. They might be kind of, you know, focused on kind of some sort of, you know, maybe she's trying to get out there to get a job and you know, Devils Wear Prada type of thing like that. This is not that film. Totally not that film. But if you're looking for something kind of like sci-fi, something fantasy, something drama, something that you kind of like think to yourself, is she really doing this? Is it in her head? Is this really going on? Is it really real? Watch this film. It's my hidden gem. It's called Colossal, and it was out in 2016. Go check it out.
Wow, that's a good one there. That's a good one.
I think that's it, right?
I think that is the end of the show.
I mean, there's so much stuff going on in this show. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed listening to us rambling and, you know, talking non-stop bollocks. But there you go. That's the Flicksters for you. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know if you've got any films for us to review.
Yep. If you do, just to subscribe to our show. Comment on what you want us to review, or just tell us how you feel, what you think, and you can walk away with a free cinema code to watch a film of your choice at any View or Cineworld Cinema in the UK.
Sorry, folks.
So thanks guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Peace out.